Hey, everybody.
Hey, evening.
All right.
What's up?
What is up?
What's up?
Evening.
Evening.
Who we got? The magnificent Thad Jones should be a tone poet.
I just wanted to clear that up, guys. Because the music
Yes.
matters. Forget about it. Stop it. It should. A lot of things should be a lot of things, but they're not gonna be. So that's it.
Felipe,
Thank-
isn't it going to be a classic series? Didn't they announce that it's going to be a
Yeah,
classic?
yeah, but not tone poet, guys. Go to
Yeah.
Music Matters website. Look all the titles there. Forget about them being tone poet. Simple.
If Joe Harley already had it as a project, he's not redoing it. He's doing only new projects.
Yes.
Hey, now that he mentions it, Thad Jones should be a tone poet.
Yeah. You know,
Let's get this one.
I agree.
This one's not that expensive.
Well,
UA.
it
Not
depends.
that expensive.
It depends.
Yeah, that's not a cheap record.
Like, it's so expensive you have to buy Depends and shit your pants.
Was it ever a Liberty pressing? That's the UA
I
you
think,
said?
I think
Yeah, it's
so.
UA.
There's a bunch of liberties.
I
think
think
it
there's it wasn't impressed up until the 70s, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me
I
take a
think
look.
this is what, late 60s, early 70s? I don't know.
Liberty is like 68, 69.
Yeah, 60s, late 60s.
Hey, just one question. Have we heard anything about that Lee Morgan box?
No, but what was my prediction? It's going to be Sonic Boom. Doesn't he have a record, Sonic Boom?
It's a box, and usually those boxes have 2 to 3 records in them.
I think
So-
one of them, because if you look at like what they haven't reissued, like that's one of the few.
Oh, one with those awful original covers.
No. Lee Morgan got his box already. Forget about box for Lee Morgan. Let's move on.
No, but I think Bill said that there's going to be. Why are we talking about? Because didn't he say there's going to be one of the issues is going to be a Lee Morgan?
Well, he knows a lot of shit, and that guy hasn't been around in a while. I've texted with him, and he won't say nothing.
Yeah, he's a
It's tight lips, man.
tight left.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, but what's it worth? I get fed information. I tell you guys, but I don't make it public.
No
We
one's
don't say
talking about-
anything to anybody about nothing.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me share my screen here.
It was in 72.
Okay. You looked it up, Chris? Okay, so for Magnificent
really.
Thad Jones, country, let's look at country of origin vinyl. 8. The OG, and then a 57, no frame, ear only on side 2. There's a 58, a 72. This
That's
is
the
the
one I
Liberty?
have.
Oh, that's the one you have. Okay, so this
You know,
is,
I heard it, yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's a
it was
UA,
really
right?
a pop shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
72 is UA for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, UA. But these sound very good. I have a couple of these Blue Note UAs Blue Label UAs that look great. It sounds great. Sorry.
Fantastic.
Ugh, can't talk. Okay, and then there's the Music Matters, which I have. This is my copy. And then there's a test pressing. What is this? Special Markets? Oh, okay, another Music Matters. And then
Same.
this looks like a promo. I'll be right back. My dog just broke out of jail.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, that dog's already into the next town.
Lock him up. David Gigolo was a Music Matters, and I think it's been announced for a new classic series.
What's the one that's just called just the self-titled, right? Lee Morgan? Like the
That's his last record. That's the best one. I mean,
the double record. But you know what I really think? They should make the Magnificent Thad Jones a toe poet.
oh my god.
We're
Yes.
getting a DNA test. If anybody wants to take a prediction of what she is,
Did we already do this last week?
no. Well, we haven't gotten the results back, so you can continue. So we're
I think she's full Croatian. That's what I think.
Is she part greyhound? Because she likes to run.
Yeah, she does. No, our other dog is part.
No.
Greyhound,
Hey,
and she
if
doesn't-
Rachel was involved, maybe she's related to your dog.
she's I think she's 60% Ashkenazi.
Well, you bet. Hold on, we're susceptible to skin cancer, so get her checked.
Fair.
Anyway, She's a pain. She broke out again today, and we were chasing her, and the neighbors had to catch her for us.
Is she like doing it out of fun, or she hates your guts?
Yeah, because she's a hound, so like she like wants to track scents. She wants to like go out. It's not like she's like scared. She's very happy when she's running around, but she won't like she realizes enough that like she doesn't want us to catch her.
Would it be funny if your friend makes homemade dog food like the neighbor down the street?
Anyway, every time she breaks out, I know there's a Mike Notes and Tones laughing somewhere.
That's true.
I mean, like, how does she break out? Does she like turn that front door open?
So the fence we share on one of the neighbors is it's I don't know, it's like rickety almost, but it looks really nice. And there's just a small portion where like this wire doesn't reach, and there's a bunch of vegetation there, so it's difficult to break through. She broke through today, so I had to go and like reinforce.
Dogs don't care about grass growing in front of a hole, man. They're gonna go right there.
Yeah.
It's funny, like when you look, but the thing is, she's been out there multiple times. Just
Why
to
don't
make
you
her out.
Why don't you bury mesh? Why don't you just put mesh into the thing and
We did.
so she can get to it?
Yeah, that's what I did. Just as temporary. Anyway, we don't have to get into it, but we're trying for more longer term solutions here.
All you do is take a bunch of old Tone Poet covers and just cram them into the corner.
That's
Felipe,
right.
do you have any pets?
No.
Okay.
He has
Now,
frogs.
if you got a pet,
I have my
what would
frogs
you
in the
get?
backyard. I have my
I
frogs
feel
in the
like
backyard.
Felipe would get a bird.
Hey, Mike, can you post a poll? Do you have pets?
I used to have cats when I was a kid. I had 3 cats at home. That was fun. That was cool. Then there was always like dogs around. I'm not a big fan of dogs. I don't like to do with hair and smells and all that stuff.
Hey, can you highlight Big Ian's comment?
Yes.
But that's just for you. That's just for you to not escape the yard.
Exactly.
You know, this is too much information, but the people that had this property before us actually had that up for their dogs, and they gave us that stuff, but we just don't want to use it. But for this dog, we're considering turning it all on.
Wait, you already have it?
Yeah, we never used it before because, you know, I don't know. I just felt like I would prefer not to, but
Sure.
I think we might need to revisit that. Mammal bums.
Yeah, but so for a long time, I had fish tanks. I had like saltwater
me
fish
too.
tanks. I had some really cool ones.
Yeah, I had
But,
sea monkeys once.
That's
feed the-
quite a thing. Congratulations.
Dave, any
That's
animals?
hard
Any,
to grow.
any dogs or cats?
No,
best.
that's money taken away from records.
Mm.
Mm.
They kind of threw. So when I lived in California, they kind of threw me off a little bit. I wanted to have a cat, right? So I went there. I'm gonna go to cat adoption. And you get there, okay? I think I'm gonna just sign a paper and bring the cat home. I ended up like $500 just like in fee here, fees that. I said, dude, what the heck? You know, I thought I was adopting, not buying. At the end, the freaking animal.
I mean,
Yeah.
to Dave's point, I have so many friends that go, "Yeah, we had to seek a special treatment. It was $3,000."
Try having kids.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't have. I know.
Whatever, man.
Mike,
I don't
my
have
last
kids.
place I had 2
See,
cats.
that's a great thing. Try and have kids, not having kids. Okay.
Yeah, just try. Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. That's true.
But they're now on a farm. So
Your
I had 2
kids?
cats last place. They're on a farm now.
Wow.
They needed to get
That's
it
what
done.
everybody says, dude. That's what my grandpa used to tell me. We got rid of our dogs. He's on a farm and he's happy now. I'm like, oh.
Well, there's no other news I'd rather break here. That
Yeah.
Mazzy now is living on a farm somewhere.
Mazzy, I'm going to share the link with you if you want to come up at any point in the live stream.
Oh,
All right.
how are you sharing it with him?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, we're going to keep it to just like Instagram and like Facebook Messenger and text message.
Yeah,
We're gonna do whatever I want.
and post and chat.
Yeah,
Now, Rob, I know you found records this week.
exactly, Rob.
I find records all the time.
I know.
You know what I
somebody's gonna make
like?
up for my lack of
And
jazz.
I'm sure Lance is going to make a comment in the thing. Sunday, he's dropping a whole box of kick-ass shit. I'm just afraid a lot of it costs too much money.
Oh yeah. He's been going through those.
I don't have a lot, but do you want me to show you what I got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we discussed. This is a good discussion topic, and
I
I'm
got
sure
this.
Mike will dive down the rabbit hole with this one.
All right.
So I picked up this promo, just stamp only. I didn't realize this came out in 1970.
Do you have the tone poet, Rob? Just sorry.
I actually passed on it was sort of
Oh.
around the beginning of collecting.
Because I had like a second press. The difference in the cover and the detail from the tone poet to the original is it's like huge.
So, but it is two separate sections.
The tone poet is clear, Felipe, or the other?
No. The tone poet's like very contrasty, very saturated. This one has a lot of more detail.
Okay.
So this it came out as a it came out as a is that United?
That's a Liberty. That's a Liberty.
So it's two separate sessions from February of 61 and May.
What's the label look like on that?
Well, I'll show you in a second because Dave has.
It's the black one.
This is the unique thing.
But it has
Hold on. I learned.
label.
I think we all learned something with this particular record, and we'll talk about it. Here's the lineup on here. So it's two separate lineups. You got Walter Davis subbing in for Bobby.
Mhm.
So the unique thing we learned about this, and Chris did a little deep dive, and someone commented on my Instagram post, is apparently on the East Coast when it was pressed with this label.
Mhm.
And then when it was pressed on the West Coast, Dave, if you show your copy.
Yeah, I got it.
So it was pressed on the West Coast with that label.
But I think his is a division of UA, right?
No, it's
David?
a division of Liberty Records.
Oh, Division of Liberty. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's the same year, same thing. Yeah.
Same. It came out at the same time, just pressed on each coast with different labels.
Yeah,
And- And I'm guessing since mine has a promo sticker, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the thing about those times is when Liberty acquired and everything. So there was a thing about West and East, and that's why there's so many copies with no Van Gelder, because the Western guys are mastering their own copies. They wanted to do their own thing.
Yeah, well, this has a Van Gelder. This is Van Gelder.
Mhm.
In this case, they both do.
Yeah.
The other
Okay.
interesting part of that is that the two plants that they used, Liberty bought both the plants, and they were just like their primary plants. They were existing record plants they bought.
So this is a Liberty, and this is Van Gelder?
It should be.
Yes, it's Van
Same
Gelder.
one Rob has in his hand.
Oh, all right. Well, I just grabbed it, so
I think the dog escaped again.
Hmm.
how dare you?
I picked up. Do you want to add something to it?
Go on, Rob.
No, hang on. I do want to talk. I mean, Roberto's true. It's the toughest tone poet to find. It hasn't been
Yeah, they
repressed
haven't.
yet.
It doesn't seem like they repressed it, or if they did, it was one of those little tiny.
I mean, they will at some point. That's what I'm just waiting for. But
I mean, it's not their best album, but it's good. It sounds great.
Yeah.
I
Roberto,
got
I'm going to work on it, Roberto.
This is a OG for pressing of this. I got.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
This is the first OG Flying Dutchman that feels like it was pressed on the dual similar Dynaflex.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've never found one that's on the
Okay.
kind of Dynaflex vinyl, but I haven't cleaned and listened to it yet. I picked it up to kind of probably put it in auctions or
I
something.
have a question
I
for
have a nice
Felipe.
reissue of that.
Mm,
So Felipe, real quick, on that previous record, you have the tone poet.
I do.
Do you have an OG as well, or no?
I have a blue label.
How's the sound comparison? Do you remember? That's a
It's
long
not
probably-
that far. It's not that far. That record was really nicely done.
Okay.
This was always stereo, right? Never a mono, not even a promo.
Probably. It came out in
It's
1970.
yeah, it's a stereo.
Yeah.
The stereo recording. If
No.
there's a mono, yes, no,
It might
never
be.
releases a mono.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah, no, not even the promo. Sometimes the promos are mono because they got sent to record stations that need that. But
Yeah, but that was like 1970. I think it was very hard to have a mono.
Stereo.
AM wasn't playing
Yeah.
mono jazz then by 70. There's
Yeah.
only FM jazz stations.
Hey, Mazzy. What do we
Hello.
got?
So this is an OG steeplechase. I have a rough copy of this. This is clean as hell. I like these. Chet Baker steeplechases are good.
Orsted Pedersen is on there. That's worth picking up.
Yeah. And then
Doug Rainey. Who's Doug Rainey? Is he a guitar player?
Yeah, guitar player. And then I found this white label promo.
Oh, yeah. What is that? Oh, I haven't seen that one.
This is a posthumous release, and it's Alice Coltrane put orchestration over.
I think I have that.
Yeah, it's real. It's good.
Yeah, it's a comp. It's a
It's
I
not
like
it's not a comp. It's
not a comp, but it's a post. Yeah.
Yeah, she added the orchestration stuff to each song.
It's kind of
So-
like his Now and Then.
No, this is better. And I have a 70s pressing of this Sonny Stitt Vernon, and this thing is amazing. It's him, Barry Harris, William Austin, and Frank Gant, and it's on it sounds awesome. This is an awesome sounding record. So, not expensive, but this has a hole drilled right through the center label there.
Oh,
What's the name of that Blakey record?
Real bullet hole.
Roots and okay, and then non-jazz, but I found an OG mono UK, and I just cleaned and listened to this. Blows away that reissue that just came out easily. Not
Blows
even
it away. Blows it away.
And then
What did you pay for that, Rob? I'm going to try to be outside for a minute.
I paid probably a lot less than I paid $25 for this, and it looks like it was
for UK mono. Are you kidding
yeah,
me?
it looks like it was never played
That's sweet.
What kind of place did you get it?
at a store that they have no rhyme or reason the way they
But
price.
are they blind people?
No, I got this at Atomic.
How
it
could they
really
not know?
It was in the
Hold
bins,
on.
right?
calm down. Sometimes I think they like to sweeten the bins.
Just a
Because-
parlophone label.
That's a big sweet. I mean, that's like
Yeah,
that's like saccharin.
And then this is a 1968 German.
This
And
ain't
it-
jazz. Fuck
It's
this.
That's even for like a after 1 a.m. show, these kind of things.
Was it $250 and you just changed the price tag on it?
I bet you showed them your AARP card.
That's fair.
Listen,
Hang
Mazzy.
on.
Listen, Mazzy.
Read this wrong.
Oh, don't give me this listen, Mazzy bullshit.
Which
The Roots and Herbs. The Roots and Herbs.
I said one session is from February
Yeah.
and the other's from May.
Yeah, so that's the tone board. I got it right here.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, that does look different on the cover.
Yeah.
Brighter.
Ooh, yes.
It's a nice
Very nice.
one. Let me see the
Yeah,
back. The back is different too.
Who can you show the pictures again, Felipe? Those look cool.
Oh, yeah. Session photos.
Love it.
Very nice.
Anytime I see R. Blakey smiling, it kind of freaks me out because usually it looks like he's about to pull someone.
Well, this is a draw. It's a drawing, right? The cover.
A drawing? A drawing?
It's a drawing, yes. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a depiction,
Come over here.
the rendering. Yes.
Oh, check this out, Rob. There was a release of that Coltrane Infinity without the orchestra on the Mastery series. I don't know what that is.
Is that CD only?
Great. Mike is doing a Scorsese.
No, Mike.
You know what I'm doing? No, I'm doing an Aaron Sorkin, walking through the halls of the West.
Well,
Side.
but that Scorsese did it before in Sorkin.
No,
Are you
you
going
can.
to show us the hole in the fence?
Your
Is that
arm
what
off.
we're doing here?
Yeah, you wanna
Actually,
see it?
Actually, it's
Yeah.
Hitchcock. It's Hitchcock.
It's
Rope.
rope. Yeah, it's rope.
Rope.
Single
Okay,
take, yes.
so here's the deal. So our neighbor's fence here is just this simple thing, and there's some wire around
Yeah,
it.
no wonder that dog gets out.
And then well, no, there's wire there. So
Is
you
this the
can't-
Lower East Side of Manhattan?
No, this is a scene from the Blair Witch Project.
But anyway, when you get up to
The
here,
sequel.
let's keep moving, folks.
How come I don't hear any crows?
I just put this in, but this part wasn't there. This is just temporary.
They're
She
growing
jumped
pot
through
next
this.
door?
You jumped through this.
and then
Oh yeah,
bolted
easy
onto the
escape,
road.
dude.
Yeah,
Easy
dude.
escape.
Well,
That
how do I
dog-
want? What if I want to get my car out? I'm in the front there. What do you do? Do they have valets next door?
Oh no.
Oh my
God.
god.
He has,
yeah.
he has a fire pit,
Do
everyone.
you live in Bali?
Anyway, it's Memorial Day weekend. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
All right.
Can you make some s'mores for us, please?
Hey, I got some
I didn't
heat.
say marshmallow. I thought about it actually, but no.
I got
Got
some
some
dizzy
heat.
heat today.
No, sweet.
Okay, so public service announcement.
Yes.
Go back to the main page of the channel and watch the video. There's a video about it, right?
Oh
About
yeah,
what?
Felipe did a video on the
Oh,
monk
about
box.
the latest monk reissues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I-
Acoustic Sounds shared it on their social media.
On the
That was cool.
Facebook
Right.
page, yeah. That
So
was
you must
cool.
have said something good about it.
No,
It was fair and
that
balanced.
thing is great. It's terrific.
Yes.
Now, did you get the one with covers or no covers?
I got the one with the sheets. Yes.
No covers, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
The big book,
You
right?
just spun that positively. Okay.
yeah,
Fair
Use the
enough.
box.
Okay.
yeah, it's my problem, right?
No,
The
it's
book
not a
alone
problem.
is worth that price.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's cool. I mean, being very conscious of real estate. I don't want to get OGs or Riversides. Those things are sounding great, and the book is great. I love the book.
Now let me ask you this: Do you know if a person bought all the records individually versus the box, what's the cost difference? Do you know?
It's going to be 30 plus shipping more expensive.
So
It's
$30
seven
more
records.
to get
$30
actual
more.
covers. For how many records? 6 records?
Seven.
Seven.
7. That seems like a bar. I think I'd rather get the covers.
Well, but you don't get the booklet, and
don't get the
you
book,
obviously
which
don't
is-
get the box.
Which is what, about 100 pages, Felipe?
Huh?
It's about 100 pages, right? The
No,
book.
not that much. It's like a 20 something, 30 pages, but it's really well written. All the sessions are really, I mean, the history.
And that's a lot. I didn't realize it was that big of a
Nice.
book.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
That's
really
fair.
good pictures. But I know also like vinyl communities, it's like drop it a little first track, sounds amazing, go to the next. People don't spend much time, so that's usually how it goes. But I like that. I mean, that was great information to me.
I have one thing to say. It's about the music, stupid.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I can tell by some of the covers you had with a clip off on that one record.
No, but I understand. Okay.
How many of you got this monk box?
I do have that Magic Mystery Tour. By the way.
I
Yeah.
have the other one they put out. That's the Record Store Day box, right?
Yeah, this is the box.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
is absolutely
also.
phenomenal.
It's
This
beautiful.
is the best thing
I
I've
love
ever
it.
gotten on RSD, easily, because you can hear them working through the songs.
You can hear him smoking. It's
I
so
mean, this is
detailed.
Yeah,
I got crabs on RSD one time. It was unfortunate.
You got
And
crabs?
Really good
No,
books
okay.
too.
yeah. I mean that's what I like about those Miles complete sessions, those CDs from each of the late '60s, right? Because you get like the development.
You mean the
building of-
spine, the metal spines?
I got the long boxes.
Oh yeah, those are
yeah.
great though. I
Oh,
love
that stuff is amazing. I mean, you see the
Yeah.
building.
That's
of the
where
songs,
that's where
development.
CDs excel. I agree.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, OJC, that whole thing is Sam. I think for the box, it was Sam. I think they did it in partnership with someone in the U.S. because that's the only Sam title that they distributed throughout the U.S. The single disc
What?
version.
What's the name of that record? Because I don't have it yet.
Which one?
The monk.
Les
the Sam?
Liaisons Dangereux.
Yeah, I'll show you. I have the single version here.
Yeah, dangerous connection.
It's
Liaison
cool that they put
dangereuse.
that out because the
Well, I can't
box.
spell that shit.
This is expensive now. Like this
Yeah,
goes
I
for
can.
crazy.
Turns out I can.
Yeah, Liaison das Regiões is the same name of that movie with the Scorsese movie with John Malkovich.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking.
dangerous connections.
So there was a box. of
Dangerous
it.
liaisons.
Yeah, Liaison.
Oh, it's a 2 LP box.
Yeah.
No, the box only came out on Record Store Day. What in 2019?
2017.
Whoa.
Now
Ooh,
we're being
careful
real.
there. Let's look at this one.
even the-
Stuff. Hang
Even
on,
the
man.
Hold on,
individual
Mazzy.
one came with a nice little thing.
Nice.
Mhm.
But I think they
That is
did it.
That's a
They
really
did it-
good record.
They did it in connection with
Saga.
yeah, so it was done in the US. It was for the US distribution.
Mm-hmm.
But this is good. And I want one. Mazzy, do you have one of those hats?
I do. I do.
It's
I
better.
make I make drinks that like are on fire out of pineapple with them.
It
Aren't
looks
there-
like it was
aren't there
prostate, QRP prostate.
Aren't
If
there
you
two
wear that
tenors
hat
on that?
during
Isn't it-
WFMU, that would be fantastic.
Aren't there two tenors on that? Like it's Bobby Jasper and Johnny Griffin or something.
So here what you
Oh,
got,
yeah.
you got Charlie Rouse,
Yeah.
Barney Weiland,
So no one, Mike said.
I meant Barney Weiland for the Kings game.
Melonius, Mug, Sam Jones, and Art Taylor.
Very nice.
Yeah, those are the folks in Europe.
I said Bobby Jasper.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And Johnny Griffin.
You're
Didn't
sitting up by a
isn't
fire
the
pit.
story-
You're
isn't the
inhaling
story-
all the-
Isn't this story, did they play to the film
Yes.
when they recorded this?
Yes.
I don't
Just
like the fun.
Phil, just
No,
like
well,
all these guys did.
I have a better story for that. So the better story is so Monk went. So Miles, there was a producer in Paris who got Miles to do Lift to the Scaffold, and Monk went out to Paris during the same time. This promoter connected with Monk and locked the deal down. Monk came back to the States and got his cabaret card revoked, and he wasn't able to travel. So they actually sent not Bobby Jasper, Barney Weiland out to New York, and they recorded at NOLA Penthouse Studios that record for it, and they like put an advance film out there so they could watch it. But anyway, that record is phenomenal.
Yeah,
That is
I
a
love it.
great Monk record.
It is.
Yeah.
It is one of
I have the
best.
regular Sam edition. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
me
good.
too.
Because it's improvised. I mean, it's they're going.
So it's basically jazz.
Exactly.
I think there's
Good
one,
What's
one,
good about
Mazzy.
jazz,
Hold on.
Dave, excuse me. They play notes in different orders each time.
there's one part during one song where you can actually hear Monk's dog escape through the fence.
Yeah.
Also, Fred from Stam Records reached out to us, and he's doing well. Seems like everything's back on track.
That's good to hear.
Well, are any titles announced or is repressings or
He's
whatever?
announced, the only thing that I feel like is public has already been announced on our buddy Klaus's Captain Phoenix's page, which is they're going to do the Sahib Shahab at 45 in 2025. So 2025 there's gonna be a double 45 of that, and then they're also doing a Django Reinhardt, which is I think his Verve record that Norman Granz produced, and they're gonna reissue that.
Didn't they say something about a Bud Powell concert or something too?
Since you mentioned that,
I don't
look
remember.
at this. On
Yeah,
Barney,
yeah.
It's Future Records, Mazzy.
I mean, look
Oh,
at
that's
this.
cool.
It's on Barclay too.
Oh wow.
So it's French.
Oui, oui.
I got a bunch of mostly Capitol EPs. More, I'll show you in a minute. But a couple of these are from the Dizzy collection. I haven't listened to them. I just started cleaning some of them.
Can we see that record though? The Barclay one. Does it have the full label or does it have a hole punched out?
Let's find
Let's
out.
see.
Oh, somebody punched it out. Yeah,
That's really cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Or no, is it?
Oh, look at
here.
that.
Still there.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
This is like
Exactly.
somebody put in is that an added, like a,
I can't tell. Yeah, maybe not.
it looks like a plastic insert. So I don't know if,
Well, go on Discogs and see what
Yeah,
the
it's
picture
like-
is.
Yeah, somebody added that. They
this
did
guy's
not-
was down for 2 hours today.
I know.
Yeah,
That'd
because
just
you
be
were
us.
listening to all of those white albums.
You guys have too much free time.
That was funny.
What's this
That
all about?
wasn't a joke.
What's this all about?
Mazzy's trying to make a joke, everybody.
It's on your own symbols.
You know what's great about it? For years before I got this record, I assumed the theme from Alfie was the song Alfie. It's not on.
No,
it.
that song's not even on the album.
I know that's the Hal David Burt Backratt song is not out.
I don't
Isn't-
understand that.
Yeah, isn't Alfie the ET?
E.T.
No, Alfie from the.
Alf. That's Alf. That's Alf.
Alf.
Just Alf.
Rob,
Okay.
How much is
Okay,
Alfie?
I'm going to do a
No.
few things before I go to the big smoke. This is a French press.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's good. What
No,
kind of
that's-
coffee? What kind of
is
coffee did you put in the
record
French
album.
press?
Eddie
Matt,
Lockjaw
that's right.
Davis.
Right, right.
Eddie Lockjaw Davis. Jew strike again.
Can you show
Jaws.
the bottom left of the cover
No,
real quick?
Jew strike every day.
No, bottom
Jaws.
left of the front. Bottom left of the front.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that's sort of a.
Okay.
I think that's a license company, like they license records and repress them.
Okay.
I haven't cleaned this yet.
Now, right now,
There's-
Matt, does that smell like French roast?
This looks
Yeah,
like
it's a
seems
French
like
press.
Rob,
seems like a
there's-
70s.
There's a lot of records on that label that were like blues records. I have a Buddy Guy Junior Wells record. That's
Wait a
on
second. Where did Joe come from? He just showed up.
Rob
Well,
almost called Mazzy Rachel.
If Mike could get his shit together, I would have been in the thing 10 minutes ago.
Whoa! You're usually calm. You're not really kind of feisty
Hey,
like.
hey,
I've been
he's grown into an angry dude, man.
I've been in
It's all that
I'm
Brotzman he's
visiting
listening
some
to.
friends in Boston, and I've spent the
Why
entire
can't I-
day battling.
No,
with my-
Mike is sitting out on the porch listening to Little Feet
I'm just trying
record.
to make
Hey,
Mazzy.
Hey,
Come
oh, yeah.
on.
Hey, Mike, I have a question. Are you in Dusseldorf?
Can you get Mazzy on this again?
Okay.
He's on. Felipe, can you do it? I don't know why it's not letting me.
That doesn't look like New Jersey, Mike.
The what, Mike?
I
Mike,
don't
did you
live
get
in New Jersey.
did you get consent from your neighbor to show his backyard?
I
live in
got
Connecticut.
a lot of shit to heat to show here.
I'm
Isn't that the
trying to.
nutmeg state?
There we go. Thank you.
Mike's getting all pissed off too. Jeez.
Got a little
Yeah,
notch
everyone's
I'm
here.
getting
angry
started on
tonight.
the Apple 100.
This is a 70s, but I don't know
Well,
when did
so
this.
look, Mazzy's probably a George Paris mastering, which it sounds very good. Those sound
This is
very
good. Yeah, whatever.
It's
version
got-
it is, man, yeah.
Oh, wait a second. This is late. This is weird. This is CB. Chris, how could that be?
So this is a Rhino 2010. Yeah.
But as a notch?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, really. No, that is weird.
Does that have
I
a
mean,
Chris Bellman? Is there a Chris Bellman version of that?
well, I think
I
it's
think-
a CB. That's weird.
All right.
He's not that. I mean, he wasn't doing stuff back then, was he?
No.
Well, he is in his 60s, isn't he? He was
Well,
doing
that's-
stuff back
I
then.
don't know. I'll have to look it up.
No,
I haven't
it's,
looked any of these up yet. I haven't looked any of these up yet. Okay. We got In Shrink.
That's very good. That's a kind of free jazzy live session.
Yeah.
Isn't Don Terry's
Those
on
are
there,
good.
right? Yeah.
Those
Beautiful.
are good.
This is Sonny Rollins, Don
You sure
Cherry,
that's not a
Billy Higgins.
classic records version? Because I have a classic records.
It's not a. No, it's not. It's not. It's an RCA. It's a. Now that's that's a '60s RCA because they changed from the black label to the orange. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
we got two JJs.
Okay.
$5 each.
The one on the left is recorded in Rochester, New York. Joe.
Your left or my left?
Cool.
Yeah.
Probably.
On that one. Yeah.
Okay, we got Eddie Harris.
That's Lockjaw.
No,
Oh, Harris. Sorry. No.
Eddie
that's
Harris.
the trumpet
Eddie
player.
Harris.
Trumpet player.
that's a good album.
This is on Muse with
Yeah.
Shrink in Shrink.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it.
Of course you have it, Rob. We know you
Hey,
have it.
that means that I said it was good. I have it.
I have
Chill
it
out,
too.
Louie. Lily, Lily, or Louie, whatever you are.
Why
Chill
can't
out.
you guys get calm like Mike who's out in the wilderness right now? Come on.
He's not calm. He's ready to blow up
camping.
about this Apple thing.
I'm glamping.
Yeah.
This is a DMM.
But that just came out last year, right?
Is there a consensus on
Is that
DMM?
Is that
Like,
is that
good or bad?
Is
I
that,
think
is that a
people
mono?
hate it or people like it.
That's
There's
a,
no
that's a
in the middle.
mono. That's a mono. No, it's eight.
Is it mono?
That's an eight.
Mono.
It's
Is it stereo or is it mono?
That's fake stereo.
Is it mono?
This is a European, I think, mono.
Now, if it's the French pressing, that probably won't sound that great.
They're fine.
You're really being a bummer, aren't you?
You should throw it away, Mazzy.
I just
Well, the
I
reason why I
up a
think
Hank movie. Those sound. Anyone who says the DMM suck can go to
No,
hell.
I
Go
agree.
over
But
to
show the
Louie's
cover.
house.
DMs
Hang
are
out
great.
Mazzy, show the cover of that one more time. Do you see the number? It says Blue Note 8. It So 8 indicates stereo. So that means that was rechanneled for stereo, and that was definitely not recorded in stereo because it's from the early 50s. So that probably sounds fine, but not great.
So that I don't know, but it might.
But
What
why does it
Mike's
say that?
saying, yeah,
Why
why
does it
does it
say
say
that,
that, Mike?
There goes that.
You
Yeah.
know what? I'm fuck you guys. I'm leaving.
Maybe they should use a 20-point typeface instead of a 12.
That's
Hey,
16 all
Hey,
day.
I don't know about you guys, but I read that as stereo.
Yeah.
Pablo,
Oh,
I
nice.
don't have that hat. Looks like he put a toilet bowl on a bidet bowl on his head.
Bidet bowl?
Can you
Bidet
show
bowl?
some of your bidet bowls when you're done?
Inside Benny Carter,
Inside Betty Carter. That's kind of offensive.
That's pornographic.
Cuomo,
Yeah.
Gary Burton, a Ray Bryant,
What's up, Bill?
a Ray Bryant, and this next one's the kicker, and it seems to be VG Plus. It's an OG mono as far as I see.
Oh, sick.
Oh, I have a near mint.
Yeah.
This
Hold
is
it
pretty sweet. Now, I haven't listened to it yet. I did clean it, but I haven't. Tomorrow I'll listen to it. It looks a few little things, but it looks VG Plus. The cover is intact. There's obviously some sticker wear and there, but no seam splits.
Where'd you get that?
This is a Dizzy thing. So
Oh.
these
Are
will
these gonna be
eventually be in a Dizzy auction or Dizzy sale at some point.
Okay.
I mean, that the way I've looked, that's a minimum $200 record, but probably a lot more.
I paid a little more for mine.
I looked
Minimum
on Discogs, and on Discogs they're like
800.
3 to
all up.
800.
Rob, do you have that record?
Yeah, I do, and I'm gonna shove it up your ass next time I see you.
God, Rob, you're so angry. Where does this anger come from?
Oh,
I'm gonna-
he's
I'm
mad
gonna
because
get
I'm
back
fucking
From
with
you, Dad.
Mazzy, he's mad
It's
because
our
I'm.
people's Sabbath. It's like
Mazzy, can you
Yeah.
Can you show
Mazzy,
the-
he's mad because I'm fucking with him because every time somebody shows a record, no matter what it is, he's got an OG of it.
But hold on, but whenever someone shows a record, you downplay it and bash them about showing it. You just
That
did
never
it.
happens.
That's never happened.
It never happens.
Can you just gargle a Diet Coke for us, please?
Louis, it warms my heart.
Hey,
Mazzy,
Carlos,
Mazzy,
that doesn't work around here. Apparently, Louis disapproves.
Okay, wait, hold off. I'm not finished. Just
Okay,
chill.
good.
That's the only
Good.
vinyl.
Here
Now
we go.
this one you already commented on this online, but
Yes.
EP.
No, that's cool.
Isn't that,
That
on
is-
the? Isn't that one on the Apple Top
It's
100?
a double EP.
Yes. So notable for this was his first Capitol record. It was a 10-inch, and it is sorely underrated. It is beautiful. The tracks are great on it, and it invokes his lamppost motif, which carried it forth since.
And you know who emulated that? Herman's Hermits. I'm leaning on a lamppost on the corner of the.
Well, so,
Hang on, Mazzy, can we see a little bit more about that? So it's an EP. It's a 7-inch, right?
Yeah,
There's
these are
two
7.
discs.
the double-
Are they at 33?
Dust.
There's two.
So are those 33 RPM since it's an EP?
I suppose.
Does it
I
even
don't know.
say?
Hey, look how Mazzy's manhandling that vinyl.
Yeah.
I
That's really
wouldn't
cool.
pay- I wouldn't pay
Um,
for it.
Oh shit! I just threw one on the floor. And
Oh,
this
there
is
you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Capital,
guy,
the house that Nat built, the
Yeah.
tower.
Does he do vocals on it, or is it just piano trio?
I haven't heard any of these yet. With Nelson Riddle, Billy May. I haven't heard anything here.
You know who brought up Nat was I mean, I don't know if he dated it back earlier, but Norman Granz put him
Pretty
on
genius stuff, yeah.
the Philharmonic.
I'm a
live-
huge Nat fan, but I'm not knowledgeable in terms of his big history. But I love that Mosaic, the 27 LP box.
Wait,
Now,
I do think it's I think Songs for Young Lovers is underrated.
yeah, this is
you know
me
what?
and my girlfriend at the prom.
you know one thing about Nat King Cole, Mazzy?
What?
He's unforgettable.
Oh, yes.
I'll never forget him and Stubby K.
So
doing
there
really
you go. So there you go. Non dimentica, unforgettable.
Oh, is it?
Medica.
Yeah, that's what it means in Italian. Yeah, dimenticare.
Bill
Forget.
should stay at your
Very
collection, man.
What's up, Ken?
I have to sell these on behalf of Dizzy. We'll see.
You need to win the bid.
I think a few of these have to be his trio where he's not singing, which is those are cool records. Very nice. Yeah.
There's piano. Oh, that's a box. What's inside there?
Who put that out?
This is Capital.
Okay.
That's an EP there, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're all EPs, aren't they?
This
No.
is France. This might be. Okay, there's 3 singles.
Are they single songs or are they like more than one song on each side?
I don't have an adapter on my Humming Guru to clean 45, unfortunately.
Yeah, me
I
either.
don't have the 10-inch or the 7-inch adapter, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, yeah, so they're dirty, but you know, they're.
Those
Really
were
cool.
made with asbestos, Mazzy.
Yeah, just about. You know, I did this thing literally across the room. The air purifier just kicked in big time.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
You know,
Now,
I'm
can you pull that
sure.
out? Can you pull
I'm
that
sure
out? Is that a 33 or is that a?
On
It's
Mercury,
45.
let me look.
Because I have a Mercury that looks like that. That's a 33.
Oh,
It
I'm
has-
sorry.
It's September in the rain, backed with "Wake the town and tell the people that Trump is going to come and kill them."
No, no.
Anybody with sense already knows that.
No, it's 45.
You know, we got the liberal crowd here tonight, so
Yeah.
except for in the couple guys.
Liberal
Yeah,
crowd.
I wouldn't even call myself liberal. I just say it's fucking have.
You mean realist? You basically believe in facts, yeah.
Facts.
All
Okay.
right.
Oh, yeah,
so
Felipe.
pull out.
Fair
That's a
enough.
good question. Hang on. How do you say unforgettable in Portuguese, Felipe?
Inesquecível.
Very nice.
This is cool. I like MJQ, and
Yeah, I love that.
the notes are by Ralph J. Gleason, editor of the rhythm section of the San Francisco Chronicle and Downbeat columnist, and Ralph J. Gleason with Jan Wenner started Rolling Stone magazine.
I liked him in the toy.
This
These
is
are
a
all-
favorite artist of mine. I do have a Capital box of hers, but
These will all be up for auction.
probably. Unless someone reaches out to me ahead of time, but I think we didn't want to do the auctions.
Unless I stick them in my suitcase when I visit Mazzy next week.
Hey Ken, nice to see you. I liked your tour stuff. This is now. I think, to me, this is the best vocalist who ever had 47 octaves.
Oh, I have.
I
some-
love Ima Sumac records.
Yeah, I have her.
What? You guys don't know who Ima Sumac is?
I know.
just didn't
I know
have
about
it- I just
poison,
have-
Sumac.
I know if you put it in your tea, it's good for you.
I swear to God. Wait, nobody here
I
knows. who
literally
this is?
just said I have a record by her. That's what I said.
I didn't. Well, everyone's talking over you. Nobody else knows. I'm surprised. There's a lot of movies in the 50s in Technicolor that she's in the movies, and she had this. It's kind of a lot of these things were repackaged in the 90s when all the bachelor pad lounge music came
Wasn't
out.
this like Exotica style?
Exactly.
I
exactly.
love Exotica.
But hers, yeah, exactly. But you got to check her stuff out. But she's got this. I don't know. It's like 5 octave range or something like that. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Louie,
Mazzy,
why don't you
Can you put that in my pile,
so you
Mazzy?
have it?
You don't have a pile. You don't have a pile. But these Dizzy. I had brunch with Dizzy today, and he hands over a pile of records, and all the mildew and mold from old records went in my nostrils, and I had to snort 3 lines of cocaine just to kind of get home. I'm
Mazzy,
kidding.
Do
kidding.
you have
I'm
an RCA player where you can stack?
I do. That's a good question. I have the old RCA. It's the RCA, so it's not the little hole; it's the big hole.
Right.
Oh shit!
This was like a format war thing back when they were.
Yeah, I have an RCA. Yeah, I do have one.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about that real quick. Can you go back to that?
This is a 2 record. This is Dizzy. I know Dizzy's watching. This is missing one of the records, Dizzy.
Oh no!
Come on, Dizzy, shape up or ship out.
Yeah, look through these things before you pick them up like 40 years ago.
Chris, what were you saying?
So, Mazzy, can you go back to that Nat King Cole box that you had there?
Which one?
That one, yeah. So I looked this up. That was a comp. Or this one, I guess, right? That was a comp that they put out early on, and it was a 10-inch that had 8 songs on it, and then that box had 3 45s, and it had 6 songs on it. But the format war that Mike's talking about, like, there was lots of these EPs where they put out like a whole album basically
Yeah.
on 7 inches because that's all people could play because there was tons of those
Oh, yeah.
players that were just
Yeah.
only 7-inch players forever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a
Now,
great
this is definitely one of my favorites. And
That's like
I'm
the
going to
mid-50s.
test you young people here.
Okay.
Who is the inventor of multi-track recording?
Nazis? I don't know.
Multi-track?
JRCA.
I can't believe how ignorant you guys are.
All right, well, school us, Mazzy.
Les
Well,
Paul.
I'm 900 years old.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Les Paul and Les Paul and Mary Fine. Okay, this is Vaya con Dios. Now, what does that mean, Felipe?
Go with God.
I can just go with God.
Yeah, of course, I knew that, but you're the closest to Spanish speaker here. But How High the Moon? If you ever listen to Mary's, I think she's like 6 or 8 vocal tracks overdubbed on that, and his guitar playing. You know what's coincidental is there was a guitar named Les Paul too.
Yes,
You're trying
we
to
know
be
that.
funny, Mazzy, but he.
But seriously, if you don't have a Les Paul record in your collection, and
Well,
you call yourself record collectors, you might as well throw every record in your collection.
Okay,
Well,
so
hold on,
speaking
Matt.
of which now,
Oh, well, I want to. Sorry, Felipe. I wanted to say one thing. So I found a record. He retired for like 10 years and came back in the mid 70s.
I saw him in New York play.
But he re-recorded all of his songs in this double disc. It's somewhere buried over here. Album. I think it was. They tried maybe sold it on TV, but he got sued by his original record company and he had to pull it. And I found it somewhere, and I still can't find anyone to verify that story. I found that story on a YouTube video that someone said it, but I've reached out to record company people. So if anyone knows anything about it, it's a great double album. He with a new vocalist because Mary Ford passed away.
Now this is
who did all the songs.
Now this is really this is an interesting collector's item. I have no idea what the worth. What?
Hang on a second. What were you gonna say, Felipe?
I'm just gonna ask because we're talking Les Paul, right? Les Paul lived long. He was playing daily in clubs to the end of his life.
He played every week in New York.
Yes. So we're thinking about Sonny Rollins, right? Sonny Rollins like 92, 93, same as Lou Donaldson in that range. Is there any saxophone player older than them?
That's alive?
Marshall Allen.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get.
Oh, okay,
Tomorrow he turns 100 years old.
Dave
and
wins the Cupid doll.
And he's playing tonight in Philly. Do you know who Marshall Allen is?
Yes, of course. Sunrise.
Dave wins that Dexter Gordon Go record.
Exactly. So he's turning 100 years old. He still leads the Sunrise Orchestra, and they're playing tonight. The guy's turning 100
awesome.
years old.
Well, let's all go.
Which is pretty awesome. And I don't think I can make it on time, Anthony. Maybe I can.
I'm almost finished here. So
No,
this is cool. I have no idea what the worth is. Probably not worth a lot. But look at that plastic sleeve. This is Art Tatum, Tiny Grimes, Slam Stewart.
So Jazztone was a mail order record service, and they reissued stuff from other labels. But that's some great stuff.
Isn't this but it's just cool, the actual pack.
Cool. I agree.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I love that. In fact, you know what's great here? Any of you who have young kids or kids that are around 30 now, like me, you probably have heard of Where's Waldo. You can find all the jazz bums in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mazzy's just really talking to you, Nicole. None of us.
Yeah, well, I'm older than that.
And last but not least, and I think this is something that I'm trying to think who there. Maybe this is something that Felipe should buy or auction. This is Artists and Models by Dean Martin.
Ooh.
It's more of a mic thing.
Mike, it's a mic. Okay, you're right.
Anyway,
that's it. There's more stuff I haven't gone through, but that's
Felipe. Here you go.
Yes.
That's today's Dizzy's pickup.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I don't have this one.
This autographed by Marshall Allen.
Oh, congratulations!
Front
It's so
signature
nice.
edition.
And it's super. I mean, it's super cool to see him at this age still playing. You know, and,
with fire too. He isn't just blowing to blow. He's throwing down.
oh yeah.
Chris, can
This
you?
is that Les Paul record that I was talking about.
Oh, nice. Okay. You know, there's a great capital C.
Pick it up. Pick it
There's
up.
a great Capitol CD box set that came out during the CD heyday. It's like 3 CDs. It's really good. So.
Nice.
Well, Matt,
Yeah, so Roberto, he's going to New York on the June 13, 15, and
Oh, wow.
23rd. Yeah, he's going to be playing there, the Sun Ra Orchestra.
Yeah, I think they played DC the other night, right?
You know what's great about Mike is in romantic lighting period now.
Yeah,
And then
like
Baltimore,
disappearing.
Rob.
Well, they played the Birchmore. That's in DC or
Hey,
Northern Virginia.
Felipe,
Yeah.
I also got this this last year in a dig up in Rochester.
What is it?
For the Sun, and that's signed by Marshall Allen, Noel Scott, and Lukeman Ali.
It's
Oh,
got
that's
papyrus as the font, so throw it away.
It's a good CD.
Mike should be interested in this.
The orchestra,
Yeah.
you know.
By the way, Louis, you just bashed what Dave was
Hey,
showing.
hey,
That's great.
can you bash someone for me? Can you bash Big E Ian?
Listen, I bashed Big Ian because he traps himself in his yard with an electric fence.
All right, Joe, do you have any new stuff you want to show?
Sure. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, let me
'Cause
grab
I'm,
it quick.
I'm sick of everyone else.
Ooh. You're one of those guys that walks out for a paper and you never come home.
Okay, so hang on, but kudos to Louis. He brought Loki to the stream.
Joe, where are you now? You're in a different place in your house.
No, this is I'm visiting some friends in Boston, so I'm in Boston right now.
No.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
Where-
Boston record stores.
Well, he's talking with a thicker Boston accent too.
So I got I went to this store today. I'd asked a few days ago on Facebook in one of the groups about any recommendations for Boston record stores, and there was this one or two people had mentioned this store that was called I think it was called Record Research Library. I think is what the title of what, and it was a relatively new store just a few years ago. They said in the description of kind of on the web page, they had said that it was like a heavily curated kind of collection and store, and there wasn't a lot of like frills, and you could see photos of the store, and it definitely looked like more of like a boutique type store. Only thing, Music Research Library is what it was called. The only thing is I got off the T, which if you're familiar with Boston is like the public transit, like train, and it was like a 15-minute walk, and most of it was through like 17th century like brick, like huge like inclines. It was just crazy, but I found some really great stuff. There was only one record I was familiar with before. I had seen it maybe posted here and there, but first one, I don't know how it's. So this one it's called Canadian Cup of Coffee. It's on SAJ. It's a trio. It's got Alfred Harth, saxophone, clarinet, Nicole Vandaplas on piano, and then Sven Ake Johansson, drums, accordion, and voice. So this was the one that I was familiar with. This kind of cool like rhino cover to it. But yeah, I was really excited for this one. Free
Now,
jazz.
What's the price on that?
It was $50 for it. So
okay,
It's a good price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Most of them were. It was pretty in line with what it was. They had a great section of like rare stuff. A lot of it was. I think Dave, you would have loved this place because there was a lot of Brazilian, and actually Felipe as well. There was a lot of Brazilian stuff. There was a lot of like, Brazilian was big. They had a reissue. It was either a reissue. I don't think it was an original of that record, Dave, that you picked up from Noble Records, the Papo's Blues from Argentina.
I have a promo.
They had
Papo's
the
Blues.
second one. They had like Papo's Blues 2. And I wasn't. I mean, I had seen you show it. I saw it. Dylan posted a few years ago, but I wasn't familiar with that. But they did have that. So it's some rare stuff. They had a copy of the Art Ensemble of Chicago, the one that was on Nessa. that it was the French. It had like the French title to it, and it
Mhm.
originally I think was from like it was like EMI.
Path EMI out of France.
Yeah. So there was some really cool stuff. Another one I picked up. This is one I wasn't familiar with, but it was another like animal type cover. This is a quartet, 1976 from I think this is from England. So another again free jazz one. You've got guys playing the oboe. One's on clarinet. Philip Washman. I feel like I've heard of that name before. He's on violin, and then Tony Wren is on the double bass. So it's a quartet. But yeah, another free jazz one. Really great. And violin, not a huge fan of in jazz, especially I'm not a big fan of orchestral type stuff. So, but with this, it works really well. Free jazz, it's really great. So that's one.
Those are you don't see those every day.
Yeah, and I had never even heard of that. It's just the cover kind of pop. This one, actually, I take that back. I got 4 records from this place. There was another one that I was familiar with, and that was this one. I had been looking for this one, Shamik Farah and Sunlia Smith. This is not the original. This is like the second pressing from like the 90s. But still, it was $50. Yeah, $50. This one was on the wall. I missed this actually at first, and then before I left, I took a look at the wall again. So this one was a big one as well. Not as much free jazz, more like modal, but Shamik Farah, his other record on Strata East is phenomenal. I'd love to find a copy of that, but that's like a 4-figure price for a copy of that. So this one's not. This is I think his second record on the label, and this one is like looking on Discogs, it was about $300 to $500 or so for it. So it's still expensive, but not as expensive as the first one, which had a black cover. If you're familiar with Strata East, you've probably seen that.
The rule of thumb on this: if you see Sonelius Smith on a record, you need to get it.
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah.
And then the last one that I picked up from Music Research Library. This one was again another one wasn't even familiar with, but caught my attention. So this one is called Triple Trip Touch Live. It said
that's TTT.
Reverend Frank Wright. So I got excited. He doesn't play on this. He's like the kind of composer. But this has Gerd Dudek, who's a phenomenal FMP guy from the late 60s, early 70s. He had a few records on FMP, I think maybe even dating into the early 80s, but he's a really phenomenal player. And he's on this one. I can't remember because I just quickly took a look on Discogs to see who was on it because there's nobody on the back. I mean, you can see the people in the back, but I don't know the musicians well enough to know what they look like. So
let me know if it's A.R. Pank because that's usually who's with TTT and the Wolney brothers.
Yeah. So this one was a cheaper one. This one was only $20. So
like a wrestling team you're talking about? I don't know.
And then I went to
that was a sympathy laugh.
Actually,
by the way.
Dave, it's good that you're on.
I appreciate it.
You're going to appreciate this too. So, a few years ago during COVID, right at the beginning, I think it was Dave. I don't know, Dave. Actually, no, I don't think you made the video with him, but it was Kieran from Needle Groove. He did a video with
Belson
from
Boston.
Wantless Records, and he recently moved, I think, in the last year or so. New shop that was just west of Boston, and this is the one thing I found. I don't know if anybody's familiar with this. Is Bobby Keys. This is
hell yeah.
He plays for the Stones.
This is like a jazz rock.
Yeah,
it's more like rock.
No, is it?
Just like a
he's played with John Lennon. He's played with the Stones. He's played with George Harrison.
Oh, has he? I don't know
say,
enough about.
While you're there, you need to go to Wantlist, and you've already. Yeah, I'm proud of you.
So I went.
Proud of you in this moment.
There was a few other things like there was. I almost bought. I don't even know if I could pronounce his name. It was Jacques Corsil. I don't even know. He had,
COURSIL.
yeah, he was the trumpet player that he had,
Did
I
a
think,
lot
one or
of
two
stuff on
sessions
BYG.
on BYG. So they had his first record on BYG there. I was gonna get it, but
the color
Anthony
cover.
Braxton is actually on that one too. He's playing the contrabass clarinet, and it was a little bit too like drone at points, so I passed on that. But I wanted to get something. I wanted to support him. So yeah, I think that's no. Actually, I don't know, Dave, if that's the one. I don't think so.
It was a different color cover, the tan color.
Yeah. Yep. And it was just recently posted on their Instagram. I can't, like I said, I can't remember what it was, but it was a really great shop. I wanted to support him, so I was able to find something, which was good. So those were the things I found while I was here in Boston.
I'm stoked you got to go to Belson shop because
it's
brand new where they moved to. They were in an antique mall.
Oh, okay.
And now they're in a standalone. Well, it's not standalone, but it's its own shop.
Yeah, it was a nice place. Yeah, the traffic is awful though, but it was. I mean, it was horrific,
cool.
but it was. I know that that's falling on deaf ears for those that live in California, but it was rough. So, and the roads. Oh my God, I cannot believe the roads were horrific. It was like they hadn't been paved since like the founding fathers. I mean, it was insane how bad the roads were.
That's because my company we don't do business in that area.
You got to get on that, Dave.
They don't pay good enough.
One thing I wanted to mention too, Nicole, I don't know if you saw this, and maybe Dave, you saw this too. I did subscribe to the Trust Records label, and they just had come out. They announced that in July, the Die Like a Dog Quartet, paying homage to Albert Eiler's coming out on vinyl.
Yep.
So
That was only CD only.
yes, yeah, back in the 90s, yeah, yep.
If anyone ordered Plum, mine, I just got a shipping notice.
Did you? I ordered it.
Yeah, I just got a shipping notice as well.
2 minutes ago.
What's your number, Mazzy?
That's what he's talking about, Nicole.
What's my number?
I used to have that.
Yeah, so I am number.
I think I sold
Order number?
8.
Oh yeah.
I'm 513.
Okay, cool. So they're getting them out. Awesome.
Nice.
Well, this means basically they
You got to
made
do a
the
video, Mazzy. Are you going to do a video on this?
We are.
I probably won't do a standalone because
I think I would encourage you to do it just because I feel like they deserve more attention.
Oh, I see what
They
you're
are
saying.
an all analog label. They're getting like artists that are excellent. I just
So
feel like
and I can tell people I paid for it, so I'm not a shill.
there you go. And I feel like
I mean,
I think they're
Okay, you convinced me. I got it. I understand.
Yeah,
They hooked me up with that interview
Sasha
with
Berlinger.
Sasha.
Yeah. I mean, these records have been out to listen for like almost a year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
there you
Mike,
go.
I got one thing I got this week to show.
Okay, hold on. Just this is the time in the show where I'm going to solicit people to like or dislike, and
Don't dislike. If you dislike, you're an asshole.
let's get these numbers up. Right now we're at 21 likes. Let's get up to 50, baby. 50.
God, you're
Let's
really
do
hawking
it.
it.
Hey,
So,
Joe-
Jashid Brooks is going to see Dave Holland tonight. By the way,
Yeah, isn't he?
Cool.
He playing with Chris Davis tonight?
I don't know. He
Hey,
goes to see a lot of
Joe,
music.
can you send a link to that album you just
Yeah.
talked about?
Which one? The one that?
The tribute to Albert Eiler.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I can.
Can you send a link to Yeah, can you repeat, Rob? What?
No, I had to go there I had to
Thanks, Jack.
put a thumbs up. I put a
Yeah.
thumbs up, but I had to
Thank
go.
you, Lily.
I'm looking for my phone to do it on my phone.
Yeah, I'll put. If I can, I'll put the link in the chat in our group chat. So
All right.
yeah, I'll see if I can do that. It was just an email, so I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
If
Joe
not,
likes to
I
talk
know-
nasty about all you in the peanut gallery in our
So,
private.
let me ask Mike something. It's off brand a little bit. Did you watch the Steve Hoffman thing last night?
Yeah, and it cost me some money because I ended up buying all this shit that you recommended.
I ordered one. I ordered the Peer Gynt.
Wasn't he
I ordered
recommending
that-
a lot
I
of
ordered one.
CDs?
Yeah.
What's the
he's into
problem?
CDs a lot, but I ordered the Peer Gynt and I found like for $40 the UK one.
Me too. I got that one.
What record is this?
Peer Gynt. It's a
Peer
classical
Gynt.
piece.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
no, I got the US. It is a UK pressing, but it has it's a London Blue Book.
Yeah, I got the other one.
You
I
got the
think.
OG.
I think.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I saw
Those
that.
London Bluebacks have terrible front covers.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
do.
so-
It's the worst of all time.
I love listening to him. He's kind of kooky, isn't he?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was
I
a good
loved it.
interview.
Do you know? Did anybody here watch Monty Python? You know when the guy comes out of the water and says he looks like he just came out of a cave and says, "It's." That's
Yeah.
who he reminds me of.
You know what, Mazzy? He makes you look like the most conservative person in the world.
So he
does.
recommended not this record, but another record by Stereo Records, which was whoever put out Contemporary Records also developed Stereo Records. And what he said was why these are cool and you can never get anything like them is at the bottom here. Sorry, my dog's barking, but that text says that these were pressed using the Westrix mastering machine, and that only lasted for a short period of time. It's the same thing that they did the RCA Living Stereos on, which is why those OGs are sought after. And if you can get any of these original stereo records, which eventually became Contemporary Records, you should get them. So I grabbed another one. I have this one, but I noticed the text here, but I didn't really understand. He was like, Kevin Gray, like, put me onto this. Like, it's the Westrix sound, and it does something. I think there's like a 8,000 to like 12,000 hertz difference or something. He goes into the details of why this is a different sound, and that it's really, pleasant to hear and different than everything else. So anyway, so you want to look for these OG stereos for sure.
You know what my favorite story was? It's nothing to do with that, but I love that he actually praises Kevin Gray so much, but I love that he told all of us, and I didn't know this story, that Kevin Gray is the guy that came up with the idea or did the thing on telephone line ELO. Hello, how are you?
He did that in the mastering.
In the mastering, he did that effect that sounds like you're on a telephone. And Kevin Gray said, I can do this. And I had no idea.
Mike, is this the record behind you?
Yes, same exact one. The souffle cantifu or whatever it is.
Continue.
That's a great series.
Yeah. Hard one to find.
Great series.
Yeah, you prefer. He mentioned that he liked the Beatles mono box CD box set better than the record box.
But be careful. There are a lot of bootlegs of that out there. Yeah. The CD, a lot of Beatle mono CD, like fakeries.
Hey, I got yelled at by Felipe for showing my Beatles mono.
Yes, stop that.
Hey, CJ.
They're like Russian Chinese fake boxes, Beatle mono CD boxes.
The CD?
Yeah.
Hey, Mazzy, what drink?
So if you see them cheap even on Amazon.
Oh, I got my mono CD box for super cheap a few years ago.
Well, you never. I don't know. I mean, it could be.
No, mine is US for sure. I mean,
Look, someone says, misspelled words on the counterfeit.
Oh,
I have never seen a counterfeit, but I know a lot of them.
Well, I got a few things today.
Go ahead.
For this couple days from our lovely friends from Superior
Viaduct.
Oh, that just came out. That just came out, right?
Yeah, it's the Sun Ra with Errol Saunders.
How does it sound?
I don't know. I just got them days ago. I pre-ordered this one, which is Richard Tittelbaum, Asparagus, which is also stranded.
Is that on New Jazz?
What's that?
Is that on New Jazz? No.
No. Well, he's a synthesizer. He played synthesizer with a lot of people with the George Lewis, Anthony Braxton.
Yeah, last record store day, that record came out with Marion Brown, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I was there, picked up a couple things there at Stranded. Hal Russell with Mars Williams. I don't know. This is on Nessa.
That's cool.
Very cool.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm.
What year is that? I'm sorry.
981.
Okay.
Is that upside down?
What's the Nessa catalog number on that?
Oh no.
It is, where is it? 24.
Yeah, they're pretty selective. Like they didn't put out too much, but they spanned a long period of time.
This is Blue Notes for, don't ask me how to pronounce it. This is the one with, Johnny DeJohnny, Louis Maholo.
Incredible group.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And this is
What style of music is that, Nicole?
South African, probably considered free jazz.
Okay.
Really good stuff.
And this is a local Berkeley guy and also local band. Rova Saxophone Quartet on Metal Language. This was recorded in 1981 also.
Very cool.
And then I got a bunch of CDs. Yeah, I always say I get more CDs than I do get records.
Mike does too now.
So does
Yeah,
Steve Hoffman.
I got a CD player.
This is John Butcher and Naya, whatever his name, Nielsen Love.
That's
So
a beautiful cover. I like that cover.
yeah, that's a great cover.
It's like almost.
This is my other favorite cover. The band is called Central Quartet on Intact. This has Conrad Bauer, Gumpert on piano, Podansky on alto, clarinet, and flute, and Gunther Sommer on drums.
What label is that?
Intact.
Okay.
This one just came in from.
Apparently, the drummer is a total beast.
This is from Colbert and Dempsey. Joe McPhee doing poetry with Ken Vandermark.
Oh wow.
This is one of the newest Clean Feed.
Are these European editions?
Most of them are.
Wow. See,
This
that's
is
the way
from
CDs
Portugal.
should have always been. They don't need jewel cases. I hate jewel cases.
This
Yeah,
is Simon Napata with Ralph Elisa. Elisa is.
Little record covers. That's the way it should have been.
Yep. This is another one on Clean Feed. Don't ask me how to pronounce these. So it's a electric guitar with trombone.
Oh, cool.
Wow. So how do you hear about all this stuff?
Well, Clean Feed, I basically buy everything that comes out. Intact is the same way.
Wow.
This is on, there's an organization in San Francisco called Open Minds.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
And this is one of their live recordings that they did from last year. Jolie Lundy on bass and Lauren Newton on voice. This one I got from Trost. I love my favorite label, Trost. This is Matt Gustafson.
Yeah, I need that one.
And
Squidco had that too.
Felipe, are you talking about coffee? Was that you?
No, it's me.
Chris. Okay.
There's another Intact new one that just came in. David Marie Quartet.
Oh yeah.
Marta Sanchez.
With Marta Sanchez, her record came out last week as well.
Yeah.
With Luke Stewart, which also had a record come out last week.
This is a hell of a band. I've got all their stuff before. The band's called New Borderlands Trio. Stephen Crump, Chris Davis, and Eric McPherson.
Nicole, how much do these cost on average? Like these new CD releases?
$16, something like that. And this one,
No shit.
Of course.
Yeah, it's cheaper than records, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like half price.
This is Anthony Braxton called The Freedom Years.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's
I got
cool.
that from that.
So what does that have all?
Obi on it.
Just it is a silence and time zones and crossings. So it has Braxton,
Are these free jazz?
Leo Smith,
Yes.
Richard Thittebaum on this.
So basically, this is that jazz. They do it in different orders and different keys at the same time.
And
Right.
I won I haven't gotten it yet, but I won my first bid on Carolina Soul.
Yeah.
I won all 7 of the Horace Tapscott sessions. Horace Tapscott.
Nice.
Nice.
I used to have those many years ago, and my daughter loved those records because they were all different color record covers, and she loved all. When she was like 4 years old, she goes, "Oh, asked me, Mom, can you play that record? It's so pretty." So I had to get it again. So
wow, that's great, great stuff.
I know. I got, like I said, a shitload of CDs in a week.
Well, I've got it. There's 2 of those I need to get. I need to get that Braxton and the Mats Gustafson. So you've sold me on those.
Yeah. Dusty Groove on the Braxton.
Okay.
I got the Matt Gustafson directly from Trost.
Yeah, and I know Squid Goat got the Gustafson.
No, I didn't. I got that one also from Dusty Groove. So.
I didn't get any jazz this week, but I did get one item. That's very
An
interesting.
item.
Yeah.
Get a gallon of milk or some eggs or what?
It's a cassette. And it's Iced Tea and Body Count live at CBGB's in New York City in 1991.
Oh,
that
cool.
sounds amazing. Oh yeah.
You see?
And it's got Cop Killer on it.
Nice.
It's got Bowels of the Devil, Voodoo, There Goes the Neighborhood, Body Count, KKK Bitch, and Cop Killer.
Very cool.
It's a bootleg tape. But it's crazy how I got this because I went into Repo, and he was back working on a new shelf for cassettes. They had bought out a store that went out of business, so they got thousands of cassettes. And I was like, well, what did you get? Did you get any punk? Did you get any of this and that? He goes, nah, there's some rap down here. And he pulled one out and goes, oh, this Everlast tape sucks. And he was.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's because he showed it's Felipe because he showed.
Yeah.
Well, that's Dave.
You froze in a section, Dave.
He talked about Cop Killer. He was censored.
He goes, I have this tape. You can have it. It's in the collection. So he gave this to me.
Very nice.
That's sort of the same thing that happened to me, Dave, because I found.
So, Dave, would you consider yourself a shill on the take too?
What you talking about, Mazzy?
Getting free shit. Apparently those of us who get free records occasionally.
A record store guy gave him a tape. He's not taking payola.
It's okay. But you just mentioned the name of the record store, didn't you? Right?
I get tape.
You mentioned the name of the record store after getting free goods. You're a shill. Okay.
My channel's not monetized, Mazzy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Larry, I didn't see it. You were there.
I'll give you a bad time.
I don't send hookers and blow to his house like the record companies do to you.
Ken is in the audience still. Do you get comments of shilling also when you show something that a label gave you? It's so.
He's a professional journalist.
Big Ian, shut the fuck up. Hey, Rob, you tell Big Ian to shut the fuck up.
It's the most sensible thing Big Ian's ever said.
Where did Mike go? Did he get so mad about the Apple thing?
No, the dog ran away again.
He had to go walk his dogs. He'll be back. What's up, Klaus? How are you?
Quiet. Yeah, but I'm fine. Yeah, thanks. It's as you know, it's
now we're really
3 o'clock here in Europe. So yeah, but I thought I'd just join you for a short while. I've got a few records and some little good news.
No,
I don't know if we are into something now, or can I?
No, let's go for it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. The good news first. I spoke to Fred Thomas, Sam Records, today. He's back in his shop. He's back to work after his heart surgery, and he's fine. He's tired. He's starting slowly up, and I said he's behind with the orders. But he's back and he's okay. everything
great
renders
news.
the shirt.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, it is.
He actually commented. You remember that Sam Records video we did a month or two ago?
Yeah.
He commented on it this morning, so that was nice. He would say, "Hey, I'm back." So
Yeah,
that's really good news.
yeah, that's good. That's nice. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I've got a lot of records. I'm not at home right now, so I don't have them all of them. But I'd like to show some a few Yusuf Lateef records I've got.
Very nice.
This one, this is nice. This is Hot Bob with.
Now,
Yeah.
Klaus, I always see that, but I'm always hesitant to buy it.
You
How does
do?
it
Okay.
sound? How does it
Okay.
sound?
I think it's fine. I can't figure out which label it's on because it says a lot of different things.
Well, it's here in the U.S. I see the Charlie Parker Records.
Yeah, it says so too. When you open it, it says Summit. So yeah, I don't know, but I like it. But what I like even more are these two. That's from I think like 62. And then I got these two later ones. I
like that. That's a good one. I like that one.
That's a really good one. First,
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of a greatest hits with that title, The Complete Yusuf Lateef, but it's not. This one, and I think
is that his first record on Atlantic. I think I don't know because he goes more kind of funky on his Atlantic records, but that one is like his Impulse stuff, I think.
this one's it's a funky, it's soul, it's jazz as well. So yeah,
that's good.
And then I think this one got
I had the Arc did it.
Yeah,
that's great. Is
That's
that the
great.
Arc? Is that the Arc one from Record Store Day?
Much oboe
Yeah.
on these.
This is an old US pressing.
Oh, it's an old one. Okay, nice.
Yeah, that one's not cheap, not a cheap record.
No, I think I got it for like 15 20 25 US dollars.
That's a good price.
I think it was my record dealer who had it. It just got in and he said you should try this one. Yeah, and he's always good at suggesting things. That's nice when you know people that knows what you're interested in. So these two I really enjoy a lot. They are very funky. They're very you can't. It's like you can dance to them very easily. So that's nice. And then I started this last week. I started to dig into a small Danish record label I found lately. It's called Jazzcraft.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna make a video about it, so I'll just mention it briefly here. I think the guy behind this label was inspired by Steeplechase. What they did was there's a Danish guy called Lars Johansen. I interviewed him, so I'll make a video about that more in the depth. But he went to New York 1 week in October month and gathered some people and recorded an album each day, four albums each year. And then the next year he went back to New York to the same studio and recorded another 4 records. And and after 2 years, after 8 records, the Jazzcraft label just vanished. They sold. It was bought by Story Wheel, another Danish label.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. It's more or less the same musicians on all 8 records, but it changes who is the top name here. So it's the same musicians just helping each other out. That's really, really funny. The music is it's very different, but it's nice. So I think that's really a good story. And I spoke to Lars Johansen, that's his called. He thought he could make a living this way, which he found out he couldn't with only like eight records in 2 years.
When did those come out, Klaus?
It was in the late 70s. The first ones were recorded in 77. So it
Okay.
was, and the next
Very
4
interesting.
the year after. And then he went over there and made last two recordings with Howard McGee and Teddy Edwards, but at that time you can see it's a story wheel. So there you are, story wheel. So at that time the Jazzcraft label has stopped, and he worked for Story Wheel, or they took over. And he told me that Howard McGee showed up for the recording on the first day and said, "I got a bad news. I lost a tooth." So, and you can hear he's not very good at the trumpet. So it must affect the embouchure. So but in other ways the music is nice, but the trumpet solos is not very good here. So
No.
But it's a nice story, funny story. Yeah, and then one last thing, that I want to show you. I got this one. I'm a little bit of a Bill Evans.
That's a great photo. God,
it is really sunk into the music. It's a live recording from '66 from Norway, from Oslo, and with Eddie Gomez and the Danish drummer Alex Reel, who's now 84 years old.
Who put that out?
Yeah, who put that out? That did DIW Products.
Oh, out of Japan.
And it's Japan. It's a mono release, Japanese. Yeah.
So is that a current release or no?
It is. I got it later. When did they put? 2016.
Okay.
So it's not that you. Yeah. So it's. I have to add it. I'm almost full of. Well, I almost have enough of Bill Evans records. They come out at every record store day. But this one with the Danish drummer Alex Reel, I have to add.
No, Alex Reel is great.
Alex, yeah, he is, and there are several YouTube videos with him and Bill Evans. And Bill Evans is not always very helpful. There's one with Eddie Gomez and
that's
Alex Reel.
That's not a cheap record, Klaus. That right now on Discogs it's like $140.
Oh, I don't recall what I paid, but I didn't pay $140.
You didn't pay $140. No,
nice. I didn't. Less than half, I think. But okay, thanks. That's always good. And I've ordered these ones. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
Nicole has them. How are they, Nicole?
They are very good.
They are.
They are or not?
They are.
Are they worth $50 a piece?
To somebody that likes Bill Evans, yes.
I do. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, it's. I think there was an 8 LP box set, which is impossible to get, with the last recordings from the Keystone Corner, his last week of performance in the end of August, beginning of September. Just the last.
I want to get that. I think Light in the Attic's going to distribute them here, but because I went to one of those shows, I have no idea what night at the Keystone.
Well,
what?
Mazzy, can you ask your new best friend if that's true? Because I know a place that has all three.
Oh, I should text him and find out. See, they also distribute stuff, not just their own label stuff, like those.
Well, they did sell them, and they sold out of them.
Yeah, like the Japanese Wowono, those comps that have come out of Japanese city pop and jazz and stuff. Light in the Attic distributes those, but they don't.
But they might press them as Light in the Attic versions, right?
Yeah, I'll find out. Well,
I think they were released to this record store day in Japan, and then they have spread over.
I never saw any in the States, but
I actually have seen them in a bunch of stores.
Groove and
yeah.
I got one title from
Elusive Disc had them too.
It was Terry Riley.
There's been one called The Brilliant, a single record from that concerts from some of the concerts.
Yeah, so actually, Klaus, you can buy Music on Vinyl was doing this thing for Timeless, where they were doing a reissue campaign.
Yeah,
and there's an individual at the Keystone Corner that's numbered. You can get that for like $40 or less.
Okay, yeah. I'll see maybe, and these three they might be overlapping the tunes because it's
Hey, I want to make a comment here. I need to respond. I don't know who this guy Anthony is. I don't know a lot about jazz like a lot of the people here. All I know is I've been buying jazz since 1972. Playing it. I don't know the details of artists. I don't know about all the different things. So I don't know what that Anthony comment is. I just want to respond about that. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. So
Does
I'm
seem
here.
kind of
I
mean, doesn't it?
enjoy the music.
Yeah.
I know what I know. A lot I don't know, and that's why I'm here.
I think we all do, and we're having a good time. And if you want to go listen to old people talk about jazz records, go read some old fucking magazines.
Chris Justice is swift.
Hey, look, Anthony, I don't know what all these morons are talking about. I'm an expert on everything.
Yeah,
So,
Chris and Felipe. When Mike comes back, I'll drop out so he can come back up. Let me know.
You don't have to. We can have more than 10.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Can you?
Yeah, we got the super premium plan.
I don't believe you.
$5,000 a month.
Could I just fit with a little?
I'm getting defensive in my old age. That's the bottom line. So
that's okay.
Make Klaus big again. He's got more
Yeah.
records.
All right.
Oh.
Do you know this book?
No.
It is written by Laurie Verkromen, I think she's called. She was the girlfriend of Bill Evans for the last 18 months of his life, and she's telling the story of this of this time. It's a tiny book, 140 pages. And it was released in 2010, but my copy is just printed the 15th of February 2024, so maybe it's on demand. I got it from I think from Amazon. It's a nice little book. She's very unsentimental about the condition Bill Evans was in, and what really shocks me is that you get a very good picture of how conscious he was about his own state. He really was, not over sentimental about, and he knew he was kind of had limited time to live in.
The thing I heard, she describe in the book, because I heard the very vivid story where he was in the cab. They were in the cab together. And that's where he kind of
she starts with it, and the chapter is repeated at the end, and it also starts the Joe LaBarbera, the drummer. He has made a book about this, and he drove the car, and she was in the passenger seat, and Bill Evans was at the back seat and started. He was joking on his way. They were going to a methadone clinic. A little late. He should have done that like 20 years before. But and then they started joking and tell some jokes, and then he laughed, and then he started to cock off blood. And she writes that first at that point she could see that he was scared of his own situation, and redirected Joe LaBarbera to drive to the Mount Sinai hospital in New York.
I got to meet Joe last year. He gave me his card, and I've been meaning to hook him up to come up here and talk. But he's a very nice guy.
Yeah,
still plays.
A nice book, yeah. But this one is good. It's not a long read. It's very nice.
She's got a Facebook group. I can't remember. It's called Bill Evans Legacy, something or other. You can find her on Facebook though. She posts all the time.
Hey, CJ.
Yes,
Any new records in your neck of the woods?
Pardon?
What?
I was talking to CJ. Yeah, he's just hanging out.
I hear you, Dave. You need to turn your mic up for something, maybe.
Thanks.
CJ doesn't live near any record places. He gets it all in the mail.
You're correct.
I think his students give him free records for higher grades.
Well, that'd be great, and I would give them higher grades. I want to show one record and then do a public service announcement about it.
All right, great.
So that's shilling for the public service.
So this record I listened to once, maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, turn that shit off.
Yeah.
And I thought it was terrible.
Did you yell at yourself?
Yeah, I did. I was disappointed in myself. I was disappointed in the artist, and I was like, how can people like this? This is terrible. And I've been getting more adventurous.
It's going to be Love Supreme.
It's going to be out to lunch.
No, that was never terrible to me.
Oh, Ascension. Yeah. Nice.
But I feel like I need to apologize to not apologize, but like last time I was up here, Mike was like, "You like Ascension?" And I was like, "No." And he's just right. Like this album, I've spun this album 5 times this week. And if you don't like the album, it's okay if you don't like it, but just give it another shot after a year. And if you still don't like it, okay, just give it another shot.
Yeah, you can yell at DJ to turn it off.
Which Mike said it was good?
Mike loved it.
Which Mike?
Mike.
Yeah, Jasmine's Mike.
Oh,
which version do you have, CJ? 1 or 2?
Oh, this is 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Get ready for this, Louie. I have both.
That's the one totally preferred, right?
What's that?
On edition 2, which is the one I have because I don't have an OG. I did not spend that much money on this. Like I have in the mail a CD is coming that has both editions. But
ooh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because I am definitely not against CDs.
One thing, CJ, you should never apologize to Jasmine's Mike for anything.
Yeah.
To be clear. What are you doing, Rob?
I didn't do any. I didn't do it. You did it.
I didn't do it.
touch anything. But it's always good to have me big over CJ. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I disagree. Where
Do
the
you
hell
have more records?
CJ left. We lost CJ.
Oh, that's why I popped up big.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can control things. There we go.
Rob has both VG plus.
Wait. Can we go back to Klaus before he has to go away? Because it's like 3 in the morning for him, right?
Of course.
So do you know any more about Fred and what he's going to do? I know we mentioned some things that were said before he had his illness. Do you know? Did you find out anything?
No, I didn't go into that. I think he was just focused on getting back to running his ordinary business. I know that he have some further projects. He mentioned them when I visited him in January. I made a small video about it, but he didn't come up with some new projects or new things, and I think that's wise because. Heart surgery, you should take that as a sign to maybe reconsider how you spend your time and
you mean he wasn't digging through tapes in some archive when he was in the hospital?
I don't know. No, I think he's really pulled the plug and had a friend to be in this.
This is a Barkley he should reissue this since it's on Barkley. So
7-inch, yeah. What were you saying, Nicole?
Yeah.
How old is Fred?
I'd say he's in the mid 40s.
Oh wow!
Jeez, Christ.
And his fit is really, he's looking, but you never know with the heart.
Well, at least they found it. We saw
absolutely.
Steve Albini died at 61, and there was no clue that as far as we know about heart disease, we don't know.
Everybody should know what their cholesterol is.
Well, I know I have been on statins since my 20s, but Louis is really pushing me. I think if I croak on screen, I'm blaming him.
I'm happy to take the blame.
Yeah, he would become an instant VC legend.
I'm not
one now.
No, Louis would. If he caused you to kill over in anger live on a stream,
there'd be a gold statue in the VC Times Square of me.
Can you push my buttons a little more tonight, please, Louis?
Because you're hoping for the sweet release of death.
Yes, please.
Get away from all those records.
Actually, the way the stream started, it sounded like.
Please, I need it now.
That's funny.
I can't die until I get to see Rob's apartment.
True.
Chris has seen it virtually.
Nobody's seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, no, Chris has seen it.
Hey, next week, I don't know if we're going to be on the Jazz Bums next week, but this time next week, Rob's going to be in the house here.
Y'all should definitely stop by.
Or we're going to be out to dinner. I don't know.
Hey, I'm taking a shopping list of what you want from Mazzy's collection. It's only a pillow smother away.
Hey, Mazzy, you need to come out here June 21st.
I can't come out this year. Why?
All right. I'm going to the Kim Gordon concert.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, you know what's coming to Portland? Except he's not fucking coming. I have to drive to Portland. Is John?
Oh,
He's
John
going.
who?
His sister lives in Portland, and they're going out to Portland in August, early August. So I'm
How
going
far
to
of a
drive
drive
down
to
to
Portland?
Portland. It's 3 hours, but my son lives down there.
Yeah.
So John is not watching the show. Digital Gramophone. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. You know, if any of you guys ever are planning, if I know in advance, I got an extra room if you want to come to Seattle. But as long as
I'm gonna take you up on that
What
for
if
sure.
you don't
I'll
know
give
in
you
advance?
the 20% off the rack rate.
Yeah.
I figured out
What
there.
if I send you some free records ahead of time?
Wait,
Did
I
get
have
the
to show
photos
my
for
rack
free?
to Mazzy to like.
Do you know what? You've heard the term rack rate, haven't you?
No.
No, that must be an old timey thing.
No, remember the old days, like on the back.
No, we don't. We weren't around then.
The back of every hotel door had the rack rate, what the hotel room was
Oh.
supposed to. Seriously, it used to be like a law, but now
Huh.
now it's different. And so, let's say the rack rate of a certain room is $100 a night. So that's the rack rate, but sometimes through AAA or ARP or you get it less, or it theoretically couldn't charge more, but that's out of the window now.
And people don't know this. Mazzy's the guy who came up with putting a mitt on your pillow.
Yeah.
Joe, are you going to be going to any more shops?
No, I hide the matzah, Rob.
Oh,
Dave, what'd you say? Sorry.
I was asking, are you going to go to any more shops in Boston?
I don't think so. No, unless we're here. I'm here for the weekend, but I don't know. I think today I had other plans today in terms of I was gonna check out other stores, but I tend to like when I find a lot of really good stuff, I'm usually like satisfied, and then I don't really feel the need to go anywhere else. So, but no, I did. I came home for a bit, and then I came back and went to Dave's place. So it was. It was well worth it, yeah.
He's got a rare Ramon 7-inch in there right now. I just saw.
Oh,
Which one is that? What is that?
One of the early ones.
On Sire?
Yeah. It was going for a few $100s online.
Fuck.
Yeah, so he had that. I'm sure it's gone. I mean, he put that out yesterday or the day before, whenever he posted on Instagram. It was
Mazzy, if people stay with you, do you have like a continental breakfast the next morning, or?
Yeah. Now that I'm saying this, I'm dreading that I'm offering this for free.
No, actually, I can tell you because I've stayed with him before. He puts sort of trough thing out and gruel.
I do make cappuccinos. I do make cappuccinos and lattes, but usually I pick up some bagels or muffins or something. I don't cook breakfast for everybody. I hate cooking breakfast.
You need I was going to say you should get a waffle maker commission that's like in the shape.
I don't have. I'm not going to get.
Yeah, right.
Mazzy, don't you get breakfast at the record store where Pearl Jam has their?
Yeah, but they have. Yeah, they actually have a good diner there.
Dave, I've been there and I've eaten there. It's good.
It's breakfast and lunch, and it's reasonable for what it is. It's big breakfast, big lunches, burgers.
Yeah, that's what I'd do if I went out there. I'd go.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great going there and looking at
the weekend is packed. During the week, it's not so much.
That'd be right up my alley.
Well, yeah. Y'all said Pearl Jam, and my wife heard and came in and said she's been to Easy Street, and it's awesome.
Yeah, she's been here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she went and saw them at was it either the baseball field or the football field? I can't remember which one. I think it was baseball.
Keep changing the names. I don't know. They keep changing the names.
Yeah, I've only seen them once. I saw them with Sonic Youth.
Oh, nice.
When Sonic Youth was on the washing machine tour.
Very cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're touring right now.
Open, so it was Pearl Jam was the headliner.
Makes sense.
It's amazing.
They're playing.
There's only one bump on the screen.
That's not unusual. They abandon me all the time.
It's a theme.
We're all bumps, though.
I've met Rob. I've met Rob twice now, right? Twice now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Record fair.
No, I got a giant Great Dane mutt. I'll show you if I can.
Your dog has a chair, as is
the
other have a chair. Come here. See, look, well behaved.
Yeah, I'll show you on my doggo.
My dog is really well behaved.
Annabelle. There she is.
So cute.
So good.
She's kind of bizarre though. She's like Great Dane size, but she has a very small head.
This is like I don't have to take him out.
You don't have to feed it either.
He's like so chill, so chill.
Oh, I just thought Mazzy was going to take his false teeth out.
This is Nipper. This is Nipper, everyone.
Do you like pee on him instead of him like pissing on a? If you can't lift his
I
leg?
bought that 30-something years ago in Santa Monica flea market for $40.
That's why, just to bring the stream down and say the obvious, Nipper is why it's called His Master's Voice, because they recorded his master's voice of the dogs and they replayed it back to it and the dog recognized it. So that's
and then he went like this.
Yeah.
And
That first recording, that actual
it was EMI in the UK, and then in America it was RCA.
That recording is on the Apple Top 100. But,
Nice.
but somehow Frank Sinatra's not. That's weird.
Yeah.
God, heads exploded about that list.
No, my
Mike come down from that Apple 100.
No, I'm not.
People get so upset. It's just a list in a moment of snapshot.
Well, there is a new list that came out.
Yeah,
that's
true. I know. I saw that. Brady Jack 99.5.
Limp Bizkit 99.5 times.
Lauryn Hill's a good album. I wouldn't put it number one, but it's a good album.
Number 60.
I don't think anybody would put it number one. That's crazy.
The number one record on the Radio Shack list is Kenny G Songbird.
But even remember, was it 5-6 years ago when Marvin Gaye was number one? That's a good choice, and people's heads exploded on that. Oh my God, it's not Sgt. Pepper.
I'll just say that this gave me an opportunity to absolutely rage at all my friends, and it was absolutely the most fun I've had in the past week.
That's like every week.
Sad, which is sad. I know that's sad.
Screen cracked, Mike.
Yeah, but I thought it is a fun exercise to rank, and obviously this is completely wrong. It makes no sense at all.
Can you imagine? Okay. Can you imagine if the 8 of us right now or over the weekend made the 100 list? The other people would be like, "You guys are crazy. You guys are all white farts."
Well, but hold on. It makes total sense because it's a marketing thing. It's free marketing for Apple, and if you look at the list, they're not alienating anyone.
There's a lot of boomer stuff. There's a lot of
it's total marketing for them. That's all it is.
Felipe, I want to hear Felipe's opinion because I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's probably right, whatever it is.
I didn't see the list. I don't care about it.
Good. Exactly. Same. I told you he was right.
There's no Nick Cave on it. Okay.
My list is the most important list.
There you go.
I get 6 out of 10 people pulling a Nick Cave whack-a-mole, and they couldn't put one on the Apple list.
Felipe's Way or the Highway.
The one thing they did get right though was Taylor Swift, number 16, Taylor's version, 1989.
Wow.
That was
well.
Does anyone know what their criteria was?
Well, hold on. Forget their criteria. If you had to create a list, what would your approach be? What would your criteria and methodology be?
Well, I'd start with figuring out what the criteria was.
No rap.
I would just ask.
It's your own. It's your own. You can make it up.
No, I know that's what I do. I'd start with a list of I'd start writing down a list of criteria, and then
I think if I'm gonna make a list first, I'm gonna look at my fridge, see what's missing. That's go top of my list, and then
Mike.
Well, hold on,
Mike. I tried to do 100 list, and my only one rule was I only could pick one album per artist, which that was my own rule. And I tried because Digital Gramophone John did a 200 list that he did over like 10 weeks or something.
Oh wow!
I couldn't do. I ended up not doing it. It was just too.
About 3 or 4 years ago, a friend of mine on Facebook kind of challenged me to do a 100 list of 100 albums that changed my life. So every day I would post a record that was important to me.
Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
I like the list.
I've done that in like maybe 20 records, but not 100.
Look how everyone for the last day and a half has been talking about it. I mean,
again,
yeah,
it's the one thing you can say about Apple is their marketing. They market their products extremely well.
Yeah,
Remember?
there you go.
So all it is to attract people to subscribe to Apple Music. That's it.
Exactly.
I think Mazzy, you made a good point, because I was bitching about I feel like there are more records from the 50s that are and early 60s that are notable that ought to be on a 100 list, which is true. But I feel like you also said something like some of those 50s players, they didn't make albums, they made they made 78s. And you do, and those were their biggest hits, like those were their peak. So you do have to kind of consider that for the early stuff too. So
exactly. It wasn't really an album. They weren't album artists back then.
Right.
You know, I mean, we know the albums now. We know, like, you know, Buddy Holly and the Chirping Crickets, and which are great records. But really, if you look at every track per track as a whole, is it a fantastic album? It is, because we like those 5 great songs maybe on each one, what we all know. Or Roy Orbison. Actually, Roy Orbison, I think, made better records into the 60s, definitely. But there's a lot of that stuff. Everly Brothers. I mean, Jesus. I mean, all that stuff. None of that stuff's on this list. And it's not just because I'm an old guy, but that's, like, to me, just great records. I like new records. I would have put Boatman's Call by Nick Cave, and that's already 25 years old or 30 years old. It's not even a new album. We think of that as a new album. It's not. You know?
Yeah.
Mazzy, can you name one record that's in your top 10?
Could I name one?
Yeah,
I could name a bunch. I could.
Hold on. Hey, Mazzy, hold on. Can you name one record in your top 10?
Yes.
What is it?
I'll just say Revolver. I mean,
Revolver. Okay, cool. Felipe, what's one record in your top 10 for sure?
Never mind.
Me too. That would be mine as well. Rob?
Why never mind? Just say the record, Felipe.
What's one in your top 10? Wax?
There's a record. It's on CD. A group called Marry Me Jane. I think they put out barely 2 albums.
Yeah.
It's the soundtrack to a movie called If Lucy Fell, basically. I would love that to be on vinyl. That's a top 10 record for me. I could listen to that.
See, now we're having an interesting conversation about lists.
Well, you're going to ruin it by saying something stupid, though.
No, I'm not. No. Chris, what's a record in your top 10 for sure?
I don't know if it's as good a hipster answer as Rob, but
it doesn't have to be a good answer. It just has
to
be
it's from the 90s, you moron. That's not
so is mine. I would love, and this is something I want on vinyl, but it's still one of my favorite records, is the Dead President's soundtrack from the movie. The movie's great, but this
2 soundtracks already. That's pretty. Nicole, what's a record in your top 10?
Julius Hemphill, Doggone AD.
Wow.
No, that's an awesome record, though.
Yeah.
That's
Joe, what do you say?
I would say one of my favorites is Sam Cooke live at, it was like Chicago Club.
That's a great one.
Copa?
Yeah, I just love that album. That's
This is diverse. Okay. This is super diverse now. Klaus, what's a record in your top 10?
I could choose Sunday at the Village Vanguard. That's a yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
who's next? We got to do one complete circle, and I'll stop bothering everybody.
Yeah. Just one. Because I want to say something.
What's a record in your top 10, Mike?
Songs for Swingin' Lovers. Here you go.
Okay.
Sweet.
So I just want to play a little devil's advocate here before I go on.
Sure.
So CJ put a comment here. 1 album per artist is a bullshit rule. It assumes that all artists are equal. Sorry, but John Coltrane and Wayne Shorter are not equal styles of Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift. And I think I think it depends on your point of view, right?
CJ, it's not a bullshit. It's a self-inflicting rule that I made for myself. So
that's fine. That's not the point I was going to make. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how better or worse of a musician or a songwriter or a composer. It's all a mashup of things, right? It's not only about your skill, it's about your impact, your outreach, it's about everything. So, and
Absolutely.
people tend to I mean, I talk Nevermind. Mazzy said the Beatles. It's the stuff for your teenage years, things that really hook up to your emotion.
I can easily put 5 records, 5 Beatle records.
It's not only
I mean, I've done, yeah, Felipe, I've done analysis on this professionally. It really is an emotional tied to your adolescence.
That's nostalgia.
What people connect to.
Yeah. You're always hoping that you're going to go back to that, those wonder years or whatever.
But
I'd say, this guy's better than this, so this should be here, this should be there. I think that doesn't matter. It's a mashup. It's a matter of relevance in all sense.
Yeah. Look, my dad grew up during doo-wop, and he loved that shit. And I go, how can you listen to this horrible crap? Yeah. He loved that shit.
Is your dad Johnny L?
Yeah, David,
my dad has passed away. You horrible human being.
Sorry. We gotta get David.
Hold on. What are we doing?
Dave.
What's the record in your top 10?
My number 1 is Lungfish Indivisible on Discord.
Oh man, I was playing Lungfish last night.
That's good. Number 1 of all time.
This is cool because
Did you pick Louis?
No, I didn't. Designing the question is super important because if you just tell somebody, "Hey, what's your favorite this?" or "Hey, what is your top 5 this?" People can't answer that shit. It's impossible. But if I say, "What's definitely a record in your top 15 or 20 or whatever," something will come to mind that you're thinking about or whatever, and it'll always be the truth,
So your turn. Pick it.
Yeah.
In my top 10.
The claws go? Hold on. The claws go?
Claws went, yeah.
Okay.
11.
Sorry. Yes. Okay.
Oh, can I pick Nevermind or no?
You can pick
whatever else.
Pick whatever you want.
Oh, I'd pick Alkaline Trio Crimson for sure.
That's a horrible record.
Notice that Rob is the only one who said some shit.
It's funny. I did my top 10 records of all time, which of course it's in the moment that day I recorded it.
That's why it's like fluid.
And it's funny. The comments are great because people say, "Oh yeah, but I would pick this." But every once in a while you get a comment, "You're wrong." How can you be wrong? It's my opinion. One of mine is
you are wrong.
I picked Randy Newman's "Sail Away." That's one of my all-time favorite records. I think it's a fantastic record. It's a perfect record.
That Pure Moods record would be in my top 50. Yeah. The one with Orinoco Flow.
How do you feel about Stick Sail Away?
Have a separate list for my top 10 jazz records versus my top 10 rock records.
Well, to that point, hold on, Dave.
Somebody was talking about that record in the comments.
Yeah.
There you go if you want to see it.
Which pressing is that?
Changed my life.
That's I think an original press.
Hey Mike, you got to acknowledge your $10 dono.
Oh yeah, we do.
All right. Yes. Okay. All right. What is it? What do we got? Jazz Bomb Mike. Which albums? Okay. So I have a 2-pronged answer to this. One is that this is what I was going to talk about, and frankly, I think Roberto, you kind of planted the seed as we were discussing ranking records. I feel like, and this may not be true, but I feel like this is what I get a sense of. It is way easier to rank classic rock records than it is jazz records.
Yeah.
Like the difference between this Johnny Griffin versus this Johnny Griffin versus another tenor sax player versus it's like you can have a favorite, of course. I mean, I have my favorites, but I'm just saying to say these are the top 20 jazz records. And I know everybody says well, it's almost like they do it by influence, like Ornette Coleman's Shape of Jazz to Come, is going to be on that list because people use that as his influence on the overall music, which I understand. And that is a way to approach it. That is a methodology to say who's most influential. And I feel like that goes back to our first question when we started thinking about this. But I do feel like
but I think it's different.
Yeah. Jump in, Felipe.
Okay. So let's say, so you're talking from a standpoint of the guy being good and delivering good music every time. But I'd say just like in rock music, right? You can have a band delivering really good playing records, but usually their most influential are going to be the first 3 or 4. They're not going to go, too far beyond that. And I think in jazz, probably every artist, they're going to be playing well in most of their catalog. Let's say Johnny Griffin, right? But he's going to have a handful of records that are really, really indispensable. All the rest is good, but it's not at the same peak. Just like it happens in every genre.
But okay, so just to push back on that. Okay, so say there is a Johnny Griffin record that really does stand out. How do you match it against the other artists that are playing trumpet? Like, how do you say like, well, that's better than Dizzy's whatever record on Norgran?
That's my point. You cannot just go technically putting against
that's
each
right.
other.
So
you have to think about influence, about everything, influence.
But Mike, whenever I've done these lists, I've always separated jazz. You're right. I can't include jazz. Like you can't include Miles Davis or Charlie Parker in a rock best of list. I just can't do it.
And we can debate this if the cows can come home. But like, I just feel like when I'm asked if I go on a live stream, it's like pick like 5 jazz records, like 5 must-own jazz, 5 top jazz records, 5 of whatever. It's like, it is so hard to do for me. Like every record I have, I feel like is like valuable. Like it's just like to rank them to be like, these are the top 10. I don't know. Like, and it's such bullshit. I'm sorry. It is so bullshit to be like, it's Kind of Blue, Love Supreme, Time Out.
But it is true. Those are the best sellers for a reason.
Yeah.
Which
this is the second. We're about to get the second prong of his.
I think Mike's going to dump his Apple laptop and switch to a PC because of this.
Those titles excel for a reason.
Yeah, I agree. But hang on, I have a counterpoint. So as much as Mike bitched about the list, he just admitted that he can't make one himself.
Not for jazz. No way.
Well, the fastest way to have a conversation that isn't interesting at all is to do a ranking like that. The best way to have an interesting conversation about music is to ask people what they like and why they like it.
Can I Louis, can I kind of configure your question?
Sure.
Because nothing Mike said was about his emotional connection to the music.
Yes.
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
and that's what I want to know about. You know what I mean? Like when I ask somebody about music.
That's why it's easy for most of us. And if you look at really the answers, they're non-jazz records because most, at least me and the bums, right, got into this fairly recent. We're old, So the emotional connection again comes from your adolescent, your teen years, and finding out who you are. But I feel like I got an emotional connection to some.
Oh yeah, it still happens. You just have to continue being the kind of voracious listener that you were when you were a kid. When you had nothing to do but listen to music, it was like osmosis. But now that you're an adult and you got fucking bills to pay, you got to make time to like listen to music. And so if you do, you'll still have those connections. I know I do.
Right. Of course. Plus, I think there's also right, Louis. So jazz artists, jazz bands in general, they're playing a very like artistic craft. They're just making art and playing a concert throughout their lives, right? Rock bands, mostly they're gonna come in their early 20s, they're gonna appeal to teenagers, and then it just makes no sense. These guys in their 50s playing the same message. That's why I think the whole package comes down. It looks weird. They're not going to deliver the same thing.
But sometimes it's records that come to at a moment. I remember, like when my son was born, and we were renovating our house, and he was in the stroller, and I had to go every other week to do laundry at laundromat while we were renovating our house. And on the CD Walkman or whatever, I remember the record that I got into. One of my favorite all-time records is "Automatic for the People." I love the sound of that. I love the feel of that. That definitely could be in a top 10 right in this minute. I mean, excuse me.
Somebody breaking in your house or what?
Yeah.
No, that's his overlords at the record company saying the REM record that he mentioned.
Well, hold on. I know we don't have Claus for too long, but Claus, how do you think about this type of thing with jazz? Like, how do you I just feel like it's kind of silly to talk about like top ranked records with jazz. I really do.
Yeah, I think that the kind of two criteria. Like Louis says, the one you like, which is important to you, which you have been with you or you met at a certain point in your life. That's one thing, and then an entirely other thing is what is the most important or influential or maybe even best sold. Some of these, I think that's two very different categories. I've never tried to make the 10 best of something, but
I mean, this has got to be on one of Rob's or my list. You know, the Silver Jews, definitely.
Listen, I find that offensive.
This is a great record. I'm
I
serious.
can reach through the screen to your.
You people aren't into the quote
Can
indie alternative.
I want to show a record that I actually received during my auction. I got it in the mail and I showed it, but I've listened to this 3 times, and this is a fucking awesome ass record. This Mal Waldron Tokyo Bound.
Oh yeah, you showed that already.
Yeah, this thing is just killer. This is so good. I recommend why it's still at a kind of affordable price, but it does range. I had to order it from Japan because it's a Japanese only record. This thing is so good.
That cover looks like the face that interrupts the broadcast.
It's good.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing, Mike, I don't know. I don't believe in putting my top. This is my number 1 record or my number 100 record. I just put it on the records that is important to me. I don't do the.
I just feel like it's kind of like what are the most important like moments in history? I guess I that's probably not a great example actually. No, it's not.
Well, like Mazzy said something about in terms of how certain music affected him. He was saying about his son, and when my son was born, the only way I used to get him to sleep was Peter and Paul and Mary song, Early Morning Rain, and that was for me. It will always be a very important record to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess to me is like this. The 2 most influential musicians of the 21st century are Louis Armstrong and Ornette Coleman. So, like, if you're going, like, for me to even
not 21st.
What?
You said 21st.
20th century. That's apologies. Yes, thank you. Yeah. They lose me right off the bat because I just feel like. And this is where I talk about how Mazzy says like they didn't actually necessarily create albums during their most influential period. They obviously have albums that you could just point to if you wanted, but it's just like these were like early 78 recordings. So like, how does that play in? Do you totally ignore like everything in the 40s and 50s? Because I don't know, like that's
yeah. There were no albums in the 40s though, really. We're gonna dig out some 78 shit,
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a question.
Okay, you guys. I'm checking out. As you can see, the sun is coming up here. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Good morning, starshine. The world stands alone.
By the way, that's how Mazzy wakes you up in the morning.
Yeah.
Looby glop, looby, nibby, nobby, nooby, la la la.
That'll do, Mazzy.
Okay. Have a nice weekend.
A nice weekend.
I think the VC should put on the whole Broadway of Hair.
Hey, Louis.
That'd be fun.
Hey, Louis.
Yeah.
I think another
You do it, Mike.
would be could you name the first jazz record?
Hold on.
Hold on. CJ just came in with an Apache helicopter.
Yeah. CJ,
Anyway, I just wanted to, couch my comment because comments always sound more gnarly when you type them than when you say them. My issue is, it's like obviously not all artists are all equal to each other. I do thoroughly agree. Like in my top 10, I would put AFI Black Sails in the Sunset as one of the greatest albums of all time.
Oh, top 50 for me, maybe.
But I wouldn't include it in a list of 100 albums where it's their greatest albums of all time, where I'm trying to step outside of myself, right? And that's the problem.
Well, the issue is, CJ, what you just said, that's your list.
Mm-hmm.
And your list, it's not, again, this Apple list is a commercial thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to speak for everybody and then failing.
Your list is your list.
You can never
make your list because you're only appealing to yourself, no one else.
Okay. So that's what y'all were saying. You were just saying that they should double down and just make their list.
CJ.
Well, no,
we all just make our list.
Your truth is no one else's truth. So you can't think, oh,
That's the
I'll make my
problem.
list and think what a 28-year-old woman would think
Okay.
of this.
So can
Can I talk to
Can,
CJ
can I
first?
take 1 minute and discuss a study that was released probably 10, 12 years at this point?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me
Louis,
talk to
you're looking like 100% like Leon Gallagher now on their microphone.
So there was a study that social psychologists did on art appreciation, and it's actually borderline hilarious. They took now if you know art, I forget the artist, but it was a very gray, very sad painting of a man in snow, and it's like hard to like make out the picture, and like almost no one likes it if they're ignorant of art. They look at this painting and they're like, I don't like this painting, right? And so that was one variable, or sorry, one level of a variable, and the other level of a variable was a Thomas Kincaid painting. And here's where it gets funny. And these scientists, they got people in their study, and it was both a between subjects and a within subjects research design. So they gave half of the study the Thomas Kincaid painting. They gave half of the study the other like super hoity-toity painting of the man in the snow that's hard to make out and it's kind of sad looking.
Yeah.
And they gave them these paintings, and they took them home, and then they followed up with them. And so here's where the mixed design comes in, where it starts to become within subjects. They then, after 50 people in one that were in the Thomas Kincaid group, and then the other 50 people, let's say, that were in the like nerdy, like hoity-toity art picture group, they then followed up and said, okay, so you've been with this painting for a few months. How much do you like it? And would you like to trade it for the other one? No one traded it for the Thomas Kincaid painting.
What
and
is
everyone who has a Thomas Kincaid
who was
painting
a
traded it for the other
commercial
one. And so as much as we fear this notion of there's objectivity to art,
This is what I fear about politics mostly, but
I mean,
don't know if anybody else.
I mean, there is something to this notion of good taste and bad taste, and we shouldn't dance around it. We should say, yeah, John Coltrane is
Kincaid
almost
was
objectively better than Taylor Swift.
Thomas Kincaid was a machine of art.
It's a tale as old as time. I feel like the idea of removing the subject matter from the expression is, I don't know. I mean, you can argue either way, I suppose, but I just feel like I come down on the fact that the context helps influence my appreciation or understanding of things, and that does not mean, though, the fact that
I agree with that.
But I do feel like not understanding those things, there's a visceral reaction to how art moves forward, and you don't need to know the history to know what you like. And if you
agree.
Something, so but I mean, I like to try to understand what I like and why I like it in obviously the context of record collecting. So I like to believe that, but I totally understand the fact there is like objectivity to this as well. That is very important.
Hey CJ,
CJ, do you have like a modem going off next to your head?
Do you have like is there an attack helicopter taking off?
Maybe his air purifier kicked in.
Oh, sorry. Is it bad? I'll log off. What do you?
No. Don't log off. Just fix it.
It stopped.
What? I don't understand. What's going on?
We don't understand either. There's just
maybe it's Mike.
Okay, hang on, let me technically describe it to you since Lou's just going to be a bitch about it.
All right, I'm gonna say verbatim what I just said.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Hey CJ.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Well, that's
loud or something.
Sing the sorrow is better.
No.
I have a record of the show.
So I like Sing the Sorrow. It is nowhere near Black Cells in the Sun.
Oh, it's better.
Hell no, dude.
Now, I mean, the more I don't talk, the more I'm increasing my records I'm showing.
Anyway,
right.
That's all I wanted to say. I'll sign off. You know,
you don't have to sign off, bud.
No, CJ, hang out. Yeah.
Hey, can we do a thing every Friday where CJ comes up and tells them about a social science study? I feel dumber. I feel dumber than I did before you started telling them.
I have a story to tell.
Well, I'm sorry. I made you feel
Let Mike speak.
I have 3 records to show, and let's get into it right now. So what I'm going to show is a progression into Dixieland, actually.
Oh no! This
Well, hold
is
on.
everyone's turn to go take a bathroom break.
Dude,
Okay.
I dig Dixieland.
I love Dixieland.
Okay, well, everybody hold on. So there are something that I feel like was missing from my collection is Louis Armstrong's early stuff. I feel like
Good.
it is without a doubt it is a requirement for me. So I've been looking for things. 2 records came up for $15 for both of them, so I grabbed them. This is a Columbia 6i. This is not the first pressing; it's the second pressing of his Hot 5. So this is Louis Armstrong.
It's not early, right?
What?
I mean, it's very early.
I would have sent you that for
It's like
free.
tw-
I have a
it's like
copy of it.
20s, 30s.
20s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a collection. Okay. It's a
I mean, what are we talking about, Felipe? You have stuff earlier than the 20s?
No. I'm just saying because it shows 6i. I thought it was like 50 stuff.
All right, hold on.
So
That was before there were talkies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there he is as a young man.
Mhm.
So
So that's on the cover, and that's his Hot 5.
Yes.
And this is the Columbia 6i Deep Groove. Very perfect, clean, sounds excellent. So I got this, and then this was also bundled with it, which I thought sounded more like Dixieland. So like that first one, definitely a Dixieland influence, but it's more like a modern jazz quintet. This Hot 7 this sounds like Dixieland. Like they're playing Dixieland music. That's what's on here. Their Hot 7 is Dixieland jazz, and there's great vocals on both of these, and I enjoy this too. But I don't know, I thought this was a little later, which I believe it is, and I was just surprised that the Dixieland came later than that Hot 5 stuff. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, that's it. So I got these 2. So first is more modern jazz, I guess, and then which is still influenced by Dixieland. It's not like it's devoid of Dixieland, but that Hot 7 is like Dixieland songs are playing.
Louis Armstrong is one of the 3 core artists of jazz. This if you're a CD person, this is the most amazing set, Mike. This is 4 CDs. This came out 20 years ago. The complete Hot 5 and 7. This is where CDs shine on this kind of stuff, where it has this long book, long box design. I mean, I'm convinced, Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, maybe Charlie Parker. This is the essence of what jazz is. And so, a lot of people like to start it in the 50s and the mid or late 50s with Blue Note kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's so much great stuff around this time. That's why I'm always pushing Charlie Parker, and people expect it or get disappointed because it's not sounding like a tone poet or something. Those recordings from like the late 40s into the 50s, the Savoy stuff. That is, to me, the most brilliant, wonderful, soulful, like early, somewhat early, not as early as this stuff, obviously. Yeah, I agree with you. Those are great records. And so I think Mark Lastman said the Sidney Bechet stuff, Bix Beiderbecke stuff. Get the Bix, pick up some Bix Beiderbecke, the Columbia.
I don't know. So I agree. The reason why I wanted to show that early, like Dixieland style bop, and then the proper Dixieland stuff, is because the next thing I'm about to show is this Sidney Bechet 10-inch on Blue Note.
Perfect.
This is part of the 7000 series. This has Art Hodes on piano. It's basically this. It doesn't say it on here, but it's like the Harlem Sextet with Sidney Bechet, and I knew about this Harlem group because Mosaic put out a record by them before. But this Sidney Bechet, I would argue, yes, it is Dixieland, but it is a slow tempo Dixieland. Slow. The whole thing is like take it down and we're relaxing, and it sounds incredible. I feel like this one in particular, because I do have another Sidney Bechet where it's upbeat, traditional Dixieland. Not to say that this isn't traditional, but it's just like it's the upbeat, like multiple horns interacting and weaving in and out. Like that is sort of happening here, but it's so slow tempo that every song on this, and it just makes it such a delight. So I wanted to show this too. This is an early Sidney Bechet, who's also out of New Orleans. And my dog's barking behind me. So there you go.
Mike is saying to call it New Orleans jazz instead of well, there goes Mike.
Well, your dog likes it.
Well, absolutely. The New Orleans, that's all New Orleans stuff. That's where the roots of that stuff came from.
Mazzy, the only addition I would make to those three would be that Teddy always said that all jazz roads lead back to Lester Young.
Yeah, yeah. Pork pie hat.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know Lester, but Louis was
Okay.
around long before Lester.
I agree with that.
So
Yeah.
did Lester? So tell me this. Who? So what band did Lester Young come up in?
Well, he was part of the. Go ahead.
Was it Count Basie?
I don't know. It was Basie or Ellington, one of the two.
I thought he came from the Basie, but now I don't remember now. But
I could be wrong.
he's. I mean, see, there's all these musicians, like all these jazz musicians that don't get talked about here. Is like Lester Young, Ben Webster has probably the smoothest, beautiful, not smooth in terms of like a middle of the road thing, but a great, like a great reedy, throaty sound of his sax playing.
Yes,
throaty.
Yes.
You know? What is that throw? You hear
I
the
agree.
reed.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it back, Mazzy. I've been buying Norgram and Clef and fucking Mercury, like early Mercury and Jazz at the Philharmonic.
Finally, the bums.
These jam sessions.
The
and
bums go back and
I have the thumbnail already made.
This is the bums and the hot tub time machine.
I'm making a motherfucking Norman Granz video on this because this music is unbelievably good, and it's all before Blue Note.
You gotta do a video. I did a video once. I kind of did a kitschy thing on it, but on bebop, because everyone misses. They talk about hard bop and bop, but they don't talk about bebop around here. And that, you know, it wouldn't be hard bop without bebop. Without Dizzy Gillespie, without Dizzy Gillespie, without Lester Young, without.
Hold on, Mazzy.
Lionel
Some guy
Hampton.
earlier in the chat says you are not a jazz expert.
I know, but I know this shit. Lionel Hampton, Earl Father Hines, all those, you know.
It's coming. It's coming. Just be on the lookout.
Is my microphone better?
I'm making a video.
Okay, you know what? For the next 2 weeks, everyone cancel your plans.
If you ever want a partner in it, I'll do it. Yeah.
Why does he keep coming in and out like William on
I might.
Rachel's stream?
I might,
Very
because I'm
strange.
trying. You know what? Because I got this new dog in the house, and she's disrupting my entire life.
Can we make him big while he has his meltdown, please?
Yeah.
You know the song.
You know,
the song "Goodbye Pork Pie Hat," right?
Yeah.
No one knows that song.
No one knows that song.
It's written about Lester Young.
Yeah. Everyone knows that song.
And that's one cool fucking hat that guy wore. A few of them, but you know.
Is my microphone better, or do I need to turn it off?
It's fine.
It's fine.
I turned the whole stream down because you guys are fucking yelling.
I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna hop off.
Bye, Joe.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Mingus, exactly.
No, so I'm going to talk about those Louis Armstrong records because that's all from like 1923 to like 1929.
Yeah, so good. They're so good.
So that's like 100 years old. I mean, some of it, right? And to me, especially with the Hot Five, when I agree with you, Mike, the soloing on there is as fresh today as it was 100 years ago. I mean,
yeah, and it makes sense why the Hot Five is Volume 1 of this series. Like they're gonna go hard with the best stuff. Like that Hot Five stuff is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
it's excellent. Everybody should have Louis Armstrong's Hot Five.
Hot 4 was better.
7.
Yeah, I agree.
I
That's true.
actually
Good
do
point.
have that.
Jack Teagarden, Earl Father Hines, all these great musicians. Yeah. One of the highlights is my young life when I was at San Francisco State in a recording class. I hooked up with the local PBS. This guy was doing these live jazz sessions, and we went to College of Marin, and I helped him do a live broadcast. And I spent like 2 hours with Earl Father Hines, and I got into him because of Ry Cooder. If you know the album Paradise and Lunch, Ry Cooder and Earl Father Hines do a duet on Diddy Wah Diddy on there. And his piano playing is friggin' awesome. But he goes back to these Hot 5 and 7 records with, I mean, we're talking Jimmy Strong, Joe Sullivan, Jack Teagarden, Eddie Lang.
Is Bick Speckle in there?
Bick Spiderback.
Bick Spiderback is not.
Bick Spiderback is someone who I don't have in my collection. Who I want him. I want Bessie Smith. Like I want.
Yeah.
These
You want Earl Father Hines. You want Jack Teagarden. Oh, Bessie Smith is more of a blues singer. But you want Bessie Smith. Those Columbia collections, and you know. You guys never talk. I can't believe you guys hardly ever talk about. Lady Sings the Blues. What's her name?
Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday. I mean,
before you came on, Mazzy, that's all we were talking about.
Look at all the artists, the great jazz artists on all those Verve Bill Holiday records.
So just a side note. So I'm seriously buying Norgran records and Clef records, and they're not reissued. Verve stuff is reissued. Like Chad's putting out back to back with Johnny Hodges and Duke Ellington. Like those records,
I have
Verve,
Mike.
Norgran,
I have some.
Not a single Norgran record.
I have some. They sound
reissued on Verve.
You know, Mike. Literally yesterday on my quote room tour update shift, I showed and I've done a few videos on those 1976 to 83, those Verve tubers with the illustrations with Bill Evans and Billie Holiday and they're cheap records.
Ben Webster.
They're Robert
Ludwig. Start, okay? That's a good start here.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah,
very nice.
That looks like Rob.
Listen,
reading helps.
That looks like me. Hey, Mazzy has face blindness.
OG 6i, Mazzy.
What?
With what?
OG 6i.
Nice. What is that? What is that?
Billie Holiday.
It's Billie Eilish.
Oh, perfect. That's a great. I mean, Lady in Satin.
Yeah. Hey, Louis, I have that record.
Me too.
Yeah. No, we know.
I have the OG stereo, so that's better than everybody here.
Damn.
Wow.
Mike, you just excited me tonight. Finally.
No, I'm excited too because I remember when I tried to show this kind of crap before, and Mike just shit on it and says he doesn't like the blues and all that.
I mean, it's very unfashionable.
It has nothing to do with the blues.
That's how I got. That's what started me in jazz was listening to the blues.
I'm showing that Dixieland. Oh, I did want
to
show
play
this
Dixieland anymore. You can't say Dixieland, Mike.
You just think everyone thinks it's a banjo and like a straw hat.
I'll say whatever the fuck I want. So
this is a
10-inch. Yeah. Listen, 10-inch Blue Note, 7000 series. This is before they even knew who Rudy Van Gelder was. Alfred Lyon never even heard the name. This is how old this boy is. This is a 7/6. What is this? Is a 161 Lexington Avenue, deep groove, Plastilite, no RVG because he wasn't in the picture yet. That's how old this boy is. So anyway, there you go.
That's a flex.
I don't know if I like this. Hey, Joe, just for you, Mike just posted a YouTube short where he's dancing around naked to a Sidney Bechet record.
Yeah.
Bechet.
All right. Bechet, yeah.
It's a soft T.
I want to do that video with you, Matt, because I got a bunch of that.
You're gonna dance around
naked. If you ever want a guest, I'll pop it. If not, you do it,
No, for sure. I mean, you can get a lot of that stuff that was on Norgran on Verve too. Because Norman Granz reissued a shit ton of it on Verve.
We're gonna get into it all.
Yeah,
everything's.
You should have a whole episode. All of you guys, all your bums.
And you should bring up Wikipedia.
Wikipedia scroll.
They are. Can I just show you? Okay, all right. I wasn't going to show this, but
you unleashed the beast.
Things are getting crazy.
Did you get your ass bleached?
Shut up. Listen.
Him and his dog have matching anuses.
Who has this? Who has this?
Oh, I have that. I do have that. Yeah. Prez.
That's Rob, do you have that?
You look. Okay, look at the hat on the side.
I have the super.
That's in my Discogs want list, Louis.
Okay.
President.
This
yeah,
is
Prez.
this is an early 50. Okay.
Is this
I don't-
Mike unleashing the
Okay.
heat?
Anyway, no, we're not doing it because I want to make a video about it. I don't want to. I don't even want to say anything.
Well, I want you to tell
There's-
us the most important jazz fact of all time, though. You need to share that at least.
That's what I don't want to share.
All right.
All right. Do you want me to share it? I can share it. No,
Yeah,
forget
sure.
it. Forget it.
Yes,
no,
sure.
no.
I'll share it if you don't.
Jesus Christ.
You know, Mike's gonna do a video where he gives a point by point of the birth
All right,
of Lester Young, like
Yeah,
and
I'm
Adam.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
I think this is the greatest fact in all of jazz recorded history. Okay.
Of course.
So this is okay. So this, all right. Lester Young, all these guys that were on Norgran. Okay, hold on. Who's
All right. Yeah, should you put a suit on when you tell us this?
Yes.
Or
Hold
get a
on. So this
towel or
is-
something? Jesus Christ.
So this is a Norgran. This is a Norgran pressing. This is an early pressing. This is like 54, 56. in
I'm
between,
changing mine
something
into
like
Norgran.
that. Okay.
That's a good idea.
So obviously a Norman Granz record. So Norman Granz was a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
The end.
It
Is
is-
that the fact?
it frankly is. Norman Granz, if you like music that is after 1949, you should thank Norman Granz. He is a genius.
Yeah.
We
So-
all hold hands and thank
I mean,
you. Right
he was the manager of Ella Fitzgerald, and he started Verve because of Ella Fitzgerald.
Shouldn't it be Les Paul because he
Couldn't
came
get
up with
a
the
gig, so he
multi-track?
starts a label.
Nothing against Les Paul.
He
But
starts
this
the
guy's
label
important.
because of Ella Fitzgerald, and he did those Jazz at the Philharmonic shows
Yep,
with all
yep.
those great artists, Ben Webster and Lester Young, and I mean,
Okay.
Billie Holiday.
All right. So thank you, Mazzy, because you even just add to the fact that this is a person of serious candor. This is
Everyone
a
already knows that.
serious person. Okay. Well, this is why
More
this
than
is
Santa
great.
Claus.
So this is his label, Norgran, after Norman Granz. This, can you guys see what this says? Can somebody
Hi-fi.
read?
You already
Can
said
some,
this.
no, can somebody can
Yeah,
yes, can
that's a
somebody
type
read-
of
It
cheese,
says
right?
Munster drummer.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, a lot of people know because I've already told them. Mazzy, do you know what that is?
Herman Munster was playing drums in that one episode of the Munsters episode, season three,
Okay.
season 3, episode 2. I
What
don't know.
Norman Granz did, and I wanted to put this in the video, and I still probably will. He wanted to make fun of everybody who is like highfalutin in the hi-fi industry, and he put this stamp on here. It says Munster and Dummel. Dummel was his favorite mastering engineer, so cool. Munster was his favorite cheese. That is why it says Munster Dummel Hi-Fi, and he puts it on all his records on Norgran and Clef. I love it. I love it. I love everything about that. I feel like he is a man that is unstoppable. Like, give me a break. So I didn't even mention this is a Lester Young led session with David Stone Martin cover. This cover is stunning. I mean, all of these Norgran records, you got to get them in your collection. These are beautiful, absolutely stunning records.
I have a question.
The music on these, it's all the Basie Ellington guys, all of them. That's who makes up this. He was a promoter in this world, and he said, we have to move out of this and do the small group stuff. And he started Jazz at the Philharmonic. He had Charlie Parker, Lester Young, Ben Webster, Benny Carter, everybody. Nat King Cole started at Jazz at the Philharmonic. That's Norman Granz was the first person to record him. And then he went on, and before he even sang. It's just unbelievable what was produced.
Those
And
shows
also-
really made a
also,
lot of people famous.
Norman Granz treated everybody equally. He was a proponent of desegregation. He would not take any shows where there was any segregation. There was a point where he went down to Texas and there was a segregation sign in the audience that nobody told him about. He took it down, and then they threw his African-American Black artist in jail, and he went and bailed them out. It was Ella Fitzgerald, and I can't remember the other person, but he is unbelievable American, a great person. I just absolutely love everything this guy has done.
Now, I have a question for everyone, real quick. Who thinks that the Munster cheese mastering is the greatest jazz pack?
Well, can you make me big so I can speak to this?
There's a response already right here.
As Norman Granz, I have to say that Mike has ruined my legacy. He's built me up. I'm not a human anymore.
Norman Granz,
I think it's great.
One of the better Jews like that ran record companies.
Where'd Mike go? Yeah. He just drops that knowledge and then leaves like that?
Yeah, it was
He's physically exhausted from that thing.
It was pretty awesome.
I think Norman Granz actually took all those pictures himself. You know, I'm not those black and white.
Mike just jumped in a cold shower.
Yeah, that was all the period of Montreux jazz festivals and stuff in the 70s.
That was a Norman Granz drive-by. Mike's gone.
Yeah.
He'll be back. He has to cool off.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
I have a question about it.
Did you take a sedative?
Mike,
What?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Second question. Were you homeschooled? I feel like there's a real strong possibility of this.
Now, hold on one second, Louis. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
When he was homeschooled, whoever homeschooled him, raise your hand if you have the right answer to.
Yes.
Shit.
That's pretty awesome.
You know, I will say this on a serious note, Mike.
His shit is ignored.
You're not allowed to call another tirade. Hold on.
Not in this house.
I've ignored it.
Hold on, Mike.
It took me a long fucking time. A lot of fucking labels: Riverside Prestige, Impulse, Blue Note, Argo.
To get to Verve.
Like, I went all these guys in. It took me forever to get to Norman Granz.
Well, you need to check out Verve too.
And you're only 3 years into it. Imagine where you'll be 10.
Yes, that's part of the story. Yes,
there's a billion good records on Verve.
I mean, I picked up a couple along the way. Like I got that Johnny Hodges Ellington. Remember that one, the green cover I showed a few weeks ago. There, you know, I have a few of them. I have a Mercury Oscar Peterson 10-inch. Like I know that those are great records, but I never got into
Webster stuff on Verve. Yeah.
I feel like that stuff is equal to Blue Note. Like
Mike,
Blue
did
Note
Frank
is
come
almost
first for you.
Like here's the thing.
Bird and Diz,
Here's the thing. I feel like what Norman Granz did, because these guys were done with the big band stuff in their young lives, they went on to develop stuff. Like the Oscar Peterson stuff, he starts in his mid-30s and then moves on, and he's like the backing band to all these guys. Like this is, I don't know if you saw, this is Lester Young, and the backing band is with the Oscar Peterson trio, and it's a guitar, piano, bass trio. There's not even drums on this. This is a stunning record. So anyway, I'm going off here, but I just feel like I lost my train of thought. But I think that I didn't really pay that much attention to.
You know what's even wild? What's even wilder?
This is some passionate shit.
It's even wilder that the Velvet Underground and the Mothers of Inventions were on Verve.
Yeah, well, that's
wild.
And then they had in the 60s, they had Verve Forecast. They had a folk label, which is kind of cool stuff. Yeah.
Mike, I just had an incredible idea. What if we went through the entire Verve 800 record catalog on Wikipedia?
No.
Not tonight, but we could do tomorrow. We could do that.
Mike, it's uncommon for someone your age to be as deeply into Frank Sinatra as you are. So, like, when did that happen?
I think it is actually, I realize why people don't like him.
So no. I don't not like him. I'm just fucking with you half the time. I actually want to know how you got into Frank in a way that's he's one of your favorite artists now.
You know, I don't really have a good explanation. I honestly, I feel like the reason why I like him, like the rationale is like, if I said it, you'd be like, that's not a good reason.
No. You don't even need to explain yourself. I'm just wondering how somebody, like, how did you get into him? Like, that's an interesting.
Have one record at home or something?
That's a valid point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like the first, I guess I got a record player. I don't know why I got a record player. Honestly, it was
tell the story first, then we can analyze it.
Well, I honestly don't know. I was just like I seen this a couple of times in like pop culture. Like I was watching things. I saw a record player, and my background is, I played drum set. I took drum lessons for like a long
Wait,
10
you're
years.
ripping off my story.
When did you get into Frank? I guess is a better question. I should probably lead.
Well, the thing is, like, I feel like I got into Frank when I completely, because even when I went to college, I played in drumline. Like, I was always interested in music and never interested in Frank. And I feel like it was when I left music completely. Like, I just had to, I just had other things to do than worry about music, like figure out a way to sustain my life.
Sure.
And when I had an opportunity to come back to it, the record player was like kind of a way in, and I just saw it and I was like, let me get a record player and start playing around with music. And I went home and I went through my parents' collection and I had no clue what I was getting. I had, I got a bunch of Beatles stuff from them, and I got a few Frank Sinatra records, and I got Frank Sinatra, Come Dance With Me, which isn't even my favorite Sinatra record. It's a Billy May arranged record, and it's really good. It's on Capitol. And I played it and I was like, this sounds really good. And then I just started going to record shops and I saw Frank stuff, and I would literally, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was like, I would go to record shops and there was just a few things I even cared about to even look for, and I would dig through everything and I would see some of those records, and one of the artists was Sinatra, and I would get like a jolt when I would see it, like in the Jimmy. Like, it frankly didn't even matter what record it was. It was just like, I found this and I know what this is. And I just got so excited. And that was Frank for me. So and there was a couple other artists too, but like that really, and then through that, I started, they're reissuing on Verve by Request, the Oscar Peterson does Frank Sinatra. I used to stream that record at work. I streamed that for like a year straight. Like, just, I didn't even listen to jazz. I just listened to Oscar Peterson do little piano trios of numbers that Frank was known to do. And anyway, so that's how I got in. It took me a really long time to get in the jazz. I wasn't just like, I want to be in the jazz. And also, it really did coincide with like the Blue Note and Tone Poet, because I liked Frank, I was interested in Chet Baker. And Chet Baker's Sing just came out, or not even just came out. I pre-ordered that the first time it came out because I was so excited for it, because I knew there was only gray market reissues and I didn't know anything about OGs. I just knew they were expensive. So that wasn't even an option, but I waited and I was so happy when that got announced. That was like the first time where I was like thrilled. I was like, something I'm interested in that I really wanted is going to come back in print. So like that all just, it got me into Blue Note. Like the vocalist got me in. For sure.
Well,
that passion, like, is so exciting to hear from record collectors.
Yeah,
you don't hear that a lot. Aside from, as Fremer would say, us record holder uppers on YouTube.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
That's a great origin story. I loved it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
but
before that, you never had like a stereo or a record player?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I had a CD player that my brother had before he went to the military, and I inherited that. It was a Sony CD player, and I remember listening to like Billy Joel and all those tracks on it, and I love those because I think of the moments when I listen to those songs. But yeah, and then when I was a teenager, Napster came out when I was, it was like 18 or something. Like I was so I had CDs. Like I had all my punk on CDs, like my Operation Ivy, NoFX, Rancid, Dropkick Murphys, all that, Epitaph artist stuff. I was into all that, plus the original, like I liked Crass, Rudimentary Peni, Sex Pistols, Ramones.
So you're 40.
All that stuff.
Yeah, you're not 40 yet, are you?
You got to be 40.
I'm turning 40. I'm turning 40 in October.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the 40-year-old playlist, man.
Hold on, that explains a lot.
Mike, I could be your dad.
Hey, Mike, let's go to the tape.
All right.
I mean,
see, that's the kind of shit. I love talking about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I can talk about that.
You were born in 84?
Yeah.
Oh,
math
shit,
major,
man.
I'm a math major.
I was snorting lines in 84.
You can barely tell.
Right.
Yeah.
No. That was a
That's why-
Democratic convention in San Francisco.
That's why I disagree with this Apple 100 list, because it's not. I'm not some boomer that's
Okay.
like mad.
You know what's,
I
Mike, you're even more
I
pissed
got
off
caught
than
stealing
I
that
am
dang
about
email
it.
tape.
I agree,
You guys
Mike.
had before.
Be
You should
mad.
Never be mad about dumb shit like that.
All the
Is there,
white boomers.
is there
all the
one punk record on that list?
No.
Clash,
Sex
Clash,
Pistols make.
the Clash.
Okay.
All the white boomers on Facebook that I know are like heads
Bad brains.
exploding on that list, and I think, why are you getting so upset?
It's just
right?
Gen X and Boomers are merging on this subject for some reason. I think. It's just
Aren't you Gen X?
Yes.
Isn't everybody here Gen
I
X?
disagree
except
about the list.
me? Okay, what are you, Gen Z?
I'm Gen X.
No, we're millennials, man.
Oh, I forgot that
CJ,
one.
What? How old are you, CJ?
Old
I'm 40.
millennials.
40-year-olds
millennials.
are full on they're
we're the
older
oldest.
millennials. Yeah.
You're the elder millennials.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
four.
I
I just
love
turned
CJ
46, and I'm definitely Gen X.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
Louis. You are
same
definitely
thing,
Gen X.
Yeah, it was like in what,
Hold on, when you're
1980.
on the
I think.
cusp, when you're on the cusp, CJ, how do you feel? Do you honestly feel like a millennial?
Well, so here's the problem. It's a different level of analysis. Like these general these like Gen X versus millennial. It should never explain to anyone how they feel.
Right.
But it's cohort analysis, right?
Yeah.
And so these things are true at the cohort level. So
Yeah.
Well, but wait, but isn't the definition or the way they act millennials is about attacking boomers and people older than them?
No. So Gen Xers are jaded. They don't care about anything. Like they're, so that's the stereotype,
That's the
right?
stereotype, yeah.
That's not true.
And millennials care about a ton of shit. They have a big
No.
they're walking around with big justice motives,
No,
and they want to
this is
make
not-
a difference in life and things like that. And then Gen Z is scared of everything. And
Hold on.
blah blah blah. blah.
The difference between an older millennial and a Gen X that's older than us? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That Gen X Beavis and Butthead was like a real thing, and for us it was just like it was like we weren't old enough to appreciate it.
I was old enough to appreciate the movie, but not so much.
As a boomer speaking, I appreciated Beavis and
Yeah,
Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead ruled.
Yeah,
because my son and I would watch it together.
Yeah.
I
Mike,
definitely saw the movie.
here's a
in the
question
theater.
though for you two. How old were you when you first got on the internet? Mike and
Me?
CJ. Yeah, y'all the same age, so yeah.
Well,
that was like
CJ
high
jump in.
school.
It was 1996 or 5.
Yeah, I remember. So my earliest console was NES, and
It's on the internet, man.
No, but hold on. But I feel like it's relative because I feel like I had computers, like I had the IBM PC Junior, then we moved to a Tandy 286, then we had like a 386, and none of these were on the internet. I think we got on the internet when I got like a Gateway 2000 486.
Totally. Yes.
Well, wait. How does being a nerd affect this? Because
Yeah.
Mike has seen transition.
Well, because I feel like CJ and I came up during an influential time in the processor wars of like the 486 Pentium 2.
Oh, totally, yeah.
That's me.
Like nobody gives a shit about that anymore, do they?
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
totally,
me.
yeah.
Can someone play the dial-up sound from a AOL, please?
And I remember dial up was
Yeah,
in
so
high
do I.
school, and
How
I
old
didn't
were you?
get-
Did you ever answer the question?
How come you didn't get the Egg iMac?
I did. I had 3 of them.
That's
Oh, I wish
Because he
I
couldn't
would.
afford it. Because he was a
Yeah,
kid.
hell no.
Like,
well,
you
that's
know.
that's why a lot of this generational stuff doesn't make sense because Mike and me are going to share a lot in common with Louis, right? At a personal level. But at
Yeah,
the
the
cohort
generation
level,
is bullshit.
there's
Actually, I've
Yeah.
said this.
I hate these
hold on.
labels.
I've said this.
Yeah, they don't make sense at the individual level.
But I've said
breaks
this
down.
kind
I think
of.
they're stupid.
I
Yeah.
say this kind of when I teach, and
They're
I don't know about
marketing
you,
term.
CJ. I believe in the last 40 years, the generational gap between all of us is like nil. It's nothing. That's
Yeah.
all the point of us having conversations.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't
exactly.
feel like we are having to step back. Only Mazzy is kind of, even Nicole's sick of Mazzy kind of framing things from when he was younger.
Dude, there's unless we're really
There's
lucky.
really no
I
generation
rode my
gap.
bike everywhere. Come on.
There's only going to be another couple
I
generations
don't know,
of
man.
humans anyway.
Yeah.
I'm starting to not understand my students. Like,
Well, that might be different, but
they
we
don't make
really-
sense to me, man.
like I just think with the advances of technology, let's say a movie was remastered and stuff, the fashion between the 80s and now isn't drastically different.
Jacob
No,
Wendt.
sure.
Can you bring up Jacob Wendt's comment again? And I hate to pinpoint you, but I think you're 35, and I think you relate more to Mazzy and Rob is because Jacob Wendt. My guess is you're Jewish. That's the only reason you relate to us.
No, that's
Oh,
I just think that the fact that I'm listening to music that is not in my age range now, there's a generation gap, man.
That's
I'm wearing
funny.
a hat backwards. Come on.
That's really funny. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
So, Mike, did you ever answer my question? How old were you when you first used the internet?
It was probably.
I was like 15.
It was probably 1995.
It was it was probably like 96.
I was 36 or something.
Yeah.
And it sucked. I remember
Yeah.
I went to like Yahoo, and I was like, can I find some backgrounds for my computer? Like it was like the lamest.
Did you get flying
It's not like
Everybody did.
It was there wasn't even Drudge Report. There was nothing. There's
Yeah, there was
nothing on the internet.
God.
It was terrible.
At 14, Mike couldn't get his right wing news. Even
The best thing though, it was the best thing. I know this sounds like old farts, but it was so great growing up, not with the internet and with
Exactly.
phones.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
You
really
know,
happy with that.
tell you,
Yeah, I
that's
found
why
some
I
really-
saw all this music. You weren't stuck home, you know.
Well, hold on there, Maslow. No one texts more and messages more than Maslow.
You know, it's funny. I had this like debate with some younger millennials, or Gen X's, excuse me, about a couple years ago about this, and I said, I wish we could go to a time with no phones at concerts. And they said, well, you go to concerts and you tape everything and you record when the band's playing, because I have it. I would rather have none of us have phones at concerts where we can enjoy the music and not worry. And I'm guilty of it because I have it, but I wish it was totally a non thing.
Well, you know, Mazzy, I don't like being around people because they don't know how to, like in a movie, people don't know how to behave in movies.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
But that's a historic thing. They've always not know how to behave. In
Right.
movies.
Right. Now they use
So I kind of feel that if it wasn't a phone, it would be something else you didn't like because that's just who you are.
You know, if you go to
hold
like,
on, hold on. What, Felipe? Did you want to jump in with something?
It's hard to talk sometimes. I get cut all the time, so it's hard. I just think it's different from Louis' question, Chris. I used the internet first time I was like 18, I think, it was 96. But because my father, he works as a researcher for a government institution. Internet kind of started picking up in Brazil like 2001, 2002. So it is different. And growing up too, I mean, being the generation thing, I mean, you were exposed to so many different things. A point that always makes to you guys, like, the best of all time, dude. In America and the UK, you don't know what's going on around the world. You know.
Also, Apple 100 no gets Gilberto.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
They should have separated jazz, I think.
what if you said his name right, like Getz, not Jets?
Let it go.
Do any of you remember the first thing you searched for when you were on the internet?
But I think
naked women, obviously.
Kate Beckinsale.
No, I literally typed in the word hardcore because I was a hardcore kid. And I typed in the word hardcore, but it did not end well.
Or it did.
No, actually, I think it ended really well.
I was not intending this to happen.
CJ's got the best fucking laugh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's terrible.
No, it's great. I love it. I think it's great.
Nicole, were you an early adopter since you were in Berkeley?
Pardon me?
In terms of like internet thing, like were you on top of that?
No.
Okay.
Berkeley, what'd you do at Berkeley?
What did I do in Berkeley?
What did you study? Tell me everything.
No, I didn't go to school in Berkeley.
Oh, you just
I
live
live
there?
in Berkeley.
Oh,
She's
you
one of those
oh.
lefty commies like me out of Berkeley.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh,
Yeah, everybody
Right,
in Berkeley is a
It
communist.
drives Rachel crazy.
She's an East Bay punk, man.
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Remember Rather Ripped Records?
East Bay hardcore.
What's with Rachel's thumbnails, by the way? I haven't been watching the show, but the thumbnails
they're-
are pretty suggestive.
They're great, in my opinion.
Did you make them?
Today's was the final community meets the manosphere. Will they survive?
Good Lord, dude.
No is the answer. The answer is probably not.
It was amazing.
Dude, that show is magic. I'm sorry.
I can't.
It's
Mike.
amazing. I love it.
Mike, did you guys want to do what we talked about before we went on?
Uh-oh.
It better not be the
This is
apple
goat
and
sacrifice time or what?
No, the only thing I had to show was a body count tape today. Did you guys want to see, like, have me pull a random artist?
No, I want to show some records first.
Oh yeah,
Hold on,
cool, man.
hold on.
Yeah.
I'm good with anybody showing anything. I don't care.
No, we can, but he'll have like 40 records from the same guy, and I want to see that. But I want to show my 6 records first.
Wow, rude. That was rude.
I'm going to sign off and listen on the air. I can't.
Mazzy, speaking of listening,
Yeah.
What number did you get?
I
for
will
it?
listen. I'm usually pretty good, but I totally forgot right now. I've been getting all these texts, so I will look probably tomorrow.
What
I
did
know.
you, what
But
number did you
I want to
get?
thank Mike. I swear to God, I love that you went in that direction tonight. I just love that stuff. So,
What
Mazzy,
number,
we
Mazzy, what
love you.
number did you get for the JMI again?
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, that's my order number. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
know,
the
that's
same
what
as
my order number is?
my
What is
order number? Is 513.
Oh, okay.
Mine's 508.
Mine's 555.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they ship an order, right?
I know.
I clearly win.
That's why when people say, "Oh, I got from Chad numbers,"
know.
boxes and records don't necessarily jive with numbers on the box or
Right.
the album.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My order number is 1.
Well, my rhinos were
That's a millennial.
000 out of 5,000 because those were the promo copies.
My Creedence Clearwater Acoustic Sounds analog production box set is 007.
Wait, wow! Hold on a second.
Most of the show records we get for free have no numbers on them. They just say promo.
You're on the gravy train.
That's really too bad they don't do this again because this is fucking amazing. This is this one.
Yeah. What number you have?
how did you just grab that so fast?
I have my box sets right behind me.
Oh,
This is
Matt is
number.
a professional. Are you kidding
This
me?
is I'm a professional. This is Steve Hoffman and Kevin Gray. This is 76 at 2,500.
Yeah, I would have to buy that if they
000.
repress that. Probably.
Well,
It's
my
cool.
Chris,
Beautiful.
one of those records you can get right now on Amazon for $20, 20 something
Now-
bucks,
They
is
really
the
need to
Steve
do that.
Hoffman, Kevin Gray.
Wait, let me ask you this:
No.
was there any CCR on the Apple list?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, fuck this shit.
There's nothing. Thank you.
Okay.
Let,
I'm,
let, let,
What?
let that be noted within the congressional dictation.
All right, thank you, Speaker of the House.
what is it? Is it bleach blonde, bad what is
Bad
it?
body.
Bad built, butch
Yeah.
body?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I'm a headstone.
Yes. I'm gonna get to my
Really,
headstone
that's
too.
a great line.
What am I doing? Showing records? Okay, look.
Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body.
Yep.
Ooh.
So I told y'all last week about the center stage. They had the sale, the spinny thing, and you can get a 10 to 50% discount. Somebody gave me a code for 40% off, so I bought about 6 records, and this is one of them. This is Soul Will, the Ben Webster Quintet. I mean, everybody knows what this record is probably. It's the acoustic sounds version. So yeah, it's awesome. It's got Ben Webster, Oscar Peterson on piano, Ray Brown on bass, Herb Ellis on guitar, and Stan Levy on drums. It's like super. If you haven't heard it, it's super bluesy. It's just super bluesy jazz, and with Ben Webster is just kind of amazing emotional content that he puts into his playing. Right. I heard a couple of people kind of shit on this one. I don't know why. Yeah, they're boring or whatever, but I think this is really fun to kick at. So
Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What's that
moving.
noise?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
Nicole.
Nicole's wrestling somebody that broke into her house.
Why does Louis always know what's happening sound wise?
This one I got from Rob. So this is Art Pepper. Let me show this to you on the sleeve. This is on Galaxy. It's called 1 September Afternoon.
I just banned
Rob.
Nicole for life. Was that a bad move?
Wait, who'd you ban?
She's getting robbed right now, and that's what you do.
Thanks for paying attention to the record dump.
I'm paying attention. Fucking shit.
How dare you? Anyway, so this is Art Pepper on Galaxy. It's called 1 September Afternoon. It's got we got Art Pepper on alto, of course, Stanley Callum piano, Howard Roberts on guitar, Cecil McBee on bass, bro, and then Carol Burnett. Yeah. Oh, this is Howard Roberts.
What the fuck is that? Are you
now.
kidding me?
That noise.
Is that all right? Louis
Louis.
banned for life. Goodbye, Louis.
Come back when you can come correct. So anyway, this is really good. Rob, you have another copy of this, right?
I have that. All that stuff is excellent.
Yeah. I think there's another one that they released. I don't remember the name of it. Was from the same session, basically.
Here's the problem, because Lori Pepper, who's still alive, controls everything. Their versions from Japan, they still have different covers and different titles.
Right.
And my friend Mike has been listening to the CDs I sent him 100 years ago. My friend's company put out a bunch of stuff. What are you giggling about, man?
Just like the stupid comments.
Roberto,
Let's keep going.
All right. You have to man the controls, Mike, while I'm showing records. Okay. Really excited to get this. This is the it's called New High by Kenny Wheeler, Keith Jarrett, Dave Holland, Jack DeJohnette. I think everybody already has this record besides me, but so on the center stage or whatever, they had a bunch of the new ECM kind of reissues on sale. So I got this. I think I'm going to talk about this a little bit because I think these are kind of overpriced if you get them at retail because they're like $36. And they're nice. They sound really good, but they're pressed at a place in I forget where it's at. It's called Record Factory, which is an okay record pressing plant, right? Like I would put it well below your RTS.
Is it US or Europe?
It's in Europe. I think it's in the Netherlands, maybe. So it's not the best pressing plant in the world. So for me, that's not a $36 record, right? The second thing is, I mean, we don't know if they're AAA or not, which if you don't care, it's probably fine.
I think they are.
I thought
they are AAA. But you know what? It's not hard to get an OG copy of that record.
No, I know. So anyway, the jacket's pretty nice. I would say it's kind of in between like a Tone Poet and a classic series. So it's like a gatefold. It's pretty nice. It's not quite as thick, and it's direct to board on the outside, but then the pages on the inside are glued in like you would see like in a Stoughton cover or whatever. So having said all that, this is a really good record. I really enjoyed it. I've only listened to it once. Cool. But I would highly recommend it. And you can find copies of this. Finding clean copies, OG copies of this on Discogs is getting a little hard. They're probably about $25-$30 now. So this reissue is pretty good if you can find it for a good price, right?
So Keith Jarrett is not climaxing on it.
No, he's not.
That is probably going to sound better than the OG. I know Mike had an OG of the Old and New Dreams, and he got that ECM and said it was better.
Which I have here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so I got this one too. It's his Old New Dreams. For people who don't know, it's Don Cherry, Dewey Redman, Charlie Hayden, and Ed Blackwell. It's basically Ornette's band with Dewey Redman instead of Ornette, right? This is an excellent record, Mike. I know you've shown this a bunch of times. Do you have this, or do you have like an OG?
I have an OG.
Okay. So a great record. Highly recommended. My favorite song, I think, is the first one. It's "Lonely Woman." It's Ornette song is really good. Interestingly, on the let me show you the back. It's really cool.
It's a great lineup.
Yeah, it's an insane lineup, right? So, but the last track is called "Song for the Whales." It was written by Charlie Hayden, and the first like 2/3 of it is literally just sounds like a sax making whale calls for 5 minutes. and then there's like some other ambient noise, and then it kind of turns into a song at the end. But I like it because it says on here. I don't know when this was recorded. Let me see if it says. I don't know when this was recorded. If anybody knows, let me know. But on that song, they put a note that says, "This song is written with respect for all species of whales in the hope that they will soon be protected by international law." So anyway, I really thought that was cool.
But
is that waves on the cover? I guess that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
I feel that's actually I never noticed that. I feel like when you start stepping into the kind of avant-garde, which I feel like Ornette Coleman did early and is one of the pioneers of it, and took a lot of criticism when he did it, which was not an easy thing for him to do. And then you look at Old and New Dreams is derivative of Ornette. Like they every album they do, the first track is an Ornette composition, and I feel like the reason why I like that album is the music. But I feel like when you're able to kind of absorb what we're, when you can put it into context of what this group is, who these guys played with, what they're playing now, and then what Dewey Redman went to do, what Charlie Hayden went to do, what Don Cherry went to do, like what Ed Blackwell went to do. Like all these guys went out into some of the most interesting black jazz, soul note. It's like their ESP disc. Like they go out into Indian navigation. Like they're everywhere, and their influence is felt. And I just feel like that is, when I'm listening to that, why I like it. Like I like to know about it. And I feel like if I didn't, I just heard that album, I'd be like, this is just some weird shit I don't get. And which is fine. And that might be a way to listen to it, and people might like it. But I feel like, again, I'm getting into jazz, and I feel like the historical connections between the relationships is some of the most interesting, fun things to learn about.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I have a couple of records to show, but I want to. I'm pretty sure most of us know who Gary Giddens is, Anthony. I appreciate your thoughts, though. Thank you. Anyway, 2 more records, I think. Let's see. So I got this in the same order. It's Kenny Burrell guitar form. So this is half like a quintet, and then the other half is like a big band that was arranged, and all of it I think was arranged by Gil Evans. So that's kind of what you're getting into with this. Really liked it. I didn't know if I would, because I got a lot of records like this, and I thought it might be kind of boring, but I thought it was really great. It sounds really good. So recommend that one. This was may have been my favorite out of all of them. This is a new record. I think most people already have this. This was Mesthetics and James Brandon Lewis.
Great record.
Quintet record here. So this is 2 guys from Fugazi and a guitar player. The drummer and the bass player from Fugazi, and a guitar player of the Mesthetics. So this is I don't know. It's kind of like a fusion record to me. Kind of like punk and jazz and all that kind of stuff.
I liked Eye of I better, which was the same group, but
that's not on one track though.
Yeah, I like that one. I feel like the Mesthetics, they bring a more repetitive rock composition to it, and I don't think they take advantage of James's talents as much as I'd like.
Well, I can settle this. I can settle this right now.
Okay.
Let's go to the tape of what Gary Giddens thinks. Go.
Here we get to it. Here we go.
Play the tape.
Do-dee-doo-be-doo. And we're back.
Well, Gary thinks you should drink beer while listening to
the
this.
tape showed was absolutely what I said. So there we go.
Well, Chris, you're going to be happy.
Why can't I hear you guys?
I don't know. Did you mute your speakers? Everybody, don't actually talk. Just move your mouths. Uh-oh. I guess that made him mad. Oh, man. Good times.
As Norman Grants, I believe Gary Giddens sent me a brown bag full of dog do, and he lit it on fire from it.
No, Gary Giddens is actually amazing. I've read some of his stuff, and I really enjoyed his contributions on the Ken Burns documentary. Thought he was great on there. So,
Oh yeah, I have that. The jazz.
David, how do you integrate Sun Ra with other? Do you keep him separate, like from other like? I mean, he's obviously influenced by people, but it just, do you integrate the orchestra and Sun Ra into what's going on with like the greater jazz scene?
No, I mean, it's its own animal.
No, completely different.
Yeah, it's yeah. Nicole could probably even speak better than I can. I mean, it's its own. What's the right word? Oh, its own plane of being.
You could hear a lot of Fletcher Henderson in his music and some of his stuff. A lot of influences.
Yeah. I mean, I have those 78s. You know, was it Williams there? I mean, that piano player, that was a big influence on him, Clarence Williams. You know, people like that from the 20s. But he just constantly took things to a new level every step of the way. Let me get a book I can recommend to you that a VC member put together. Hold on.
Okay.
While he's looking for the book, we've got to think up an artist for Dave to show us all his records from. Wait, who do we want to see? Dave's going to show a bunch of records from a single artist. He's got all his stuff.
I have that book.
Artist.
Okay.
Sunrise Sunday.
So this is from Roger Coleman. He doesn't do videos anymore, but he was.
Yeah, how come? Why does he not?
He got into trains, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But he did this Sunrise Sundays blog, and his fellow musician and friend Sam Bird put this out with compiled everything and got this put out. And he goes through and gives his thoughts on every Sun Ra release.
Oh wow!
And so if you want to get an insight from a record collector's perspective,
right.
Yeah,
this is the Bible for that.
Yeah. Well, can you talk about the scarcity and value of Sun Ra over the years? Because what was it the case that was like it's only recently that his records, like his early things that he hand drew with his band members, that are now just incredible amounts of money, or is that not true?
It's been going on for quite a while, actually, with the 70s stuff that has the stuff that they did the labels themselves, the covers themselves, and they sold them at shows. This was stuff they were hawking on the road. So you could only get it from the band.
On the road, yeah.
So this isn't stuff you could get in record stores. I mean, I think there were some that were sent to England, because you can find OG El Saturns with an England stamp. Like an importing stamp. I have one. But other than that, as far as in the States, you had to get them from the band. And that's how Teddy got all of his, and how I got some from him. So I have a lot of the El Saturns I have are ones that were from shows in Kansas City, Missouri. So I can trace those records back. And everything, everything's gone up with the boom, but Sun Ra's have gone, because of what they are, they've gone even higher.
What do you think it is about
that are crazy.
What do you think it is about Sun Ra that he was able to create this life for himself? Like why? Like, because I feel like the best analogy is honestly like the Grateful Dead. It's like they've created a culture, but I feel like Sun Ra takes it even further, because there's like a mythos of interplanetary, like stuff that obviously is like silly, but taken as gospel for like what this is.
Look at what's going on. I mean, Marshall Allen's going to turn 100 years old tomorrow, that Felipe pointed out.
Right.
And he has continued this on. It was that important to that group of individuals. There's some good footage on a DVD. I can't remember if it's a VHS I have or a DVD. where they, a lot of them live together in Philadelphia. They're at the Sunra House, and they did it as a community.
They
It's kind of
also
a
lived in
community
Chicago,
effort.
too.
What's that?
They lived in Chicago also.
Yeah, well, that was prior.
Well,
yeah.
that's probably what you're talking about. It was more a culture, Mike. He had rules. He had things he wanted you to do. You couldn't do drugs or drink, and you played and you did this and you dressed a certain way. I think he just created a regimen. I don't believe people thought they were cultish, right? No one thought they were.
No,
But he created a way of dedicating yourself to music,
I mean,
and they all subscribed to it.
They were having fun. I mean, think about that record that we both got, Rob, with the Disney tunes.
Yeah,
They were
it
having a
almost
riot.
sounded like they were drunk.
What's that?
It almost sounded like they're drunk.
Yeah, but they probably weren't.
No, but they were. I mean, I don't know enough to how they lived their separate lives.
Right.
But they dedicated themselves to the music in a very legit, organized way.
Well, that's what I think is kind of Sun Ra's genius is almost the fact that it's almost like Ellington, where it's like he had these players and they never left him.
That's a good comparison.
There is a reason why they didn't leave him. It wasn't because like they didn't have different opportunities. It's because Sun Ra gave him this whole thing became a lifestyle.
Mike, think about what John Gilmore could have done if he went solo.
Yeah,
John Gilmore is one of my favorite musicians of all time.
Didn't he do a lot of work before he joined?
He did it. I think he has a couple lead records, but it's only they're like
he
one.
did that Chicago record on Blue Note, but I mean, there's one of the guys that he could have gone out on his own and been as big as John Coltrane to me, but he never did that.
I think even though Sun Ra's the name, I feel like it was more than that. Like he had a band that was dedicated as him, like as he was to whatever this thing was.
Yeah, and then June Tyson's amazing. Like she has this whole thing. Yeah, I have that book too.
Hey, one thing, and I'm not yelling at you, Anthony. I think what you're failing to understand is I'm not making fun of that dude. I'm making fun of you trying to tell you to lighten up. The whole journey of us is us learning about this. Recommend a book, recommend an article about him, but don't dictate that we should learn. We should know. I'm making fun of you being very insistent that we learn about this guy. Several of us here know about him. I don't. You've told me about him. I will learn. I will read about his stuff. But lighten up. We're here to have a good time. We don't take this. We're here to enjoy the stuff as much as Mike is being. This is a release for his regular life.
Listen,
that's all.
If anybody's having a good time, I'm putting that into that now. We're getting back to the subject. No, obviously, I mean, give me a break. Like, I feel like we express who we are, and obviously, like, nobody is, a 60-year veteran of a hi-fi magazine here. So, you're gonna get a range of opinions, and obviously,
Nicole knows more than anyone, obviously. So,
yeah.
Oh, I've been started listening jazz when I was 17 years old, and I'm 72, going on 73. So,
but you're a young 73.
Yeah, I'm a young 73.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're just here to have a good time. That's all. Just appreciate the good time.
Honestly, this conversation's like boring because it's so obvious. Like, what are we talking about?
There's 123 people watching, except the fact that we're here for a good time.
If you don't, you can, and Chris, you said this the other day on Chance's concert buddy stream. You were like, we have like a short leash. Like, you could disagree with us and say like our opinion's stupid. So that's not a problem. And you're probably right, but just don't be a dickhead.
Here's what I was talking about with that label.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the stamp right there on an El Saturn.
Oh yeah. You should. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, Chris, you got him.
What?
Okay, never mind.
Well, you can't really see it.
I stopped paying attention. Sorry,
There's a stamp there.
Yeah.
And it says imported and distributed by Recommended Records, Wandsworth Road in London. So that's like the distributor in the UK for some of the L Saturns.
Didn't you say you found that book of or whatever somehow? Didn't you say that before? Those stickers, Dave?
Yeah, I might have talked about this before. Yeah.
I just picked up that Sun Ra record that came out in 2014 that was recorded when he had his Impulse deal. And then after the second album, they kicked him off the label and it never got released.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I remember that record.
So when are we going to shoot this video, Mike, about Norman Granz and Verve and
whatever? I feel like I shared all the cool stuff I wanted to share, like the Munster thing.
Yeah. That's like one dumb thing.
That is the best. That is like the best story I've ever heard. It means nothing. That's what it means. It means nothing.
Yeah.
He just picked two things and put a hyphen.
So, Mike, what you're saying is how we're romanticizing mastering engineers now. They were doing it back then, and he was sick of it. But
I think it was. Hang on. The other explanation was that it sounded German, and people were all raging about how the Telefunken microphones were awesome. So that was part of his motivation too, was to make it sound like Germans were involved, so people would be.
You don't know that. You just made that up.
I read it on the internet, just like you read everything you know about on the internet, Mike. Yesterday.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wow. Harsh.
Well, I'm serious.
No, I believe it. I just thought it just sounded like you were just like making connections there.
I mean, somebody else made the connection and I parroted it, so it's. I'm not a savant or anything. I read it on. I think I read it on the Hoffman forum. So you know,
those records are so ridiculously enjoyable. I don't know, like it's just it's like a perfect in between, because like the big band stuff was the pop stuff, like they were playing dance songs for people to go dance to, and then when that died off, these guys went into the studio. The Blue Note stuff wasn't really dance music. This was like a weird in between, and it wasn't dance, but it was like
it's called bebop.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but if that's what bebop is, I feel like it's a little more derivative from bebop. It's a little bit more in between of the Blue Note sound and bebop, like in between there.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's about the right time period, right? Like, so, but when hard bop was beginning to happen, right?
But Parker is on Norman Granz. Like some of Parker's best work, some people argue his best work is recorded by Norman Granz.
I mean, on Verve and stuff.
Well,
yeah.
I can tell you
on Jazz at the Philharmonic, Clef, Norgram, and Verve. It's
the two oldest records I have of Norman Granz records are that Dizzy and who was he partnered with? It's Dizzy and
Roy Eldridge.
Yeah, what was it? Or Eldridge's nickname? It was
I forgot.
So that record, it's on Clef. It's on Clef. And it is a great sounding record. It really sounds very good.
I'm telling you, this record, it doesn't sound like a Rudy Van Gelder record, but it is like the top-notch sound of the time. This sounds incredible. It's a great record. And
listen, Norman Maslow, you don't know jack shit. It's not Bird and Diz.
I honestly think the only person I've ever seen show these records are the Jazz Shepherd. Like
I've shown all this kind of shit before, man.
He shows a lot of the Norman Granz stuff, and he's a huge
got all of it, Mike.
He almost says like these recordings are like the nucleus of jazz. Like that is kind of his message, and you can argue it till the cows you come home. But I listened to him and I was like, okay, whatever. And for whatever reason, it was only until recently I've actually dove in, and these records are phenomenal, and some of them are cheap.
Yeah, his record collection is quite something.
Yeah, these are really good records.
I don't know how he does it in terms of
everyone
for a long time.
That's a perfect example, Chris.
Yeah.
Savannah please did this. Is really good.
Yeah. I had the original of that, and the Vinyl Me Please sounded just a tad better.
But I mean, I've got a lot of his stuff on Verve. Like I could dig out 100 Verve records to show you. You know, I've got a
They're
ton.
not hard. They're not hard to find.
No, they're
Well,
everywhere. They made shit tons of them. I mean, all of them. You know?
What the reason why I kind of ignored them, I felt like, honestly, I had some really kind of shallow reasons. I was just like, well, there's all these labels I'm interested in, all these guys I'm interested in. These are really expensive records, and everybody's talking about these records, and these are the Blue Note, Prestige, Riverside, Impulse, plus all the other ones. Argo, what's the one? Bethlehem, like all those I was interested in. For whatever reason, this stuff on that Norman Granz was producing, I picked up like one or two along the way, but I never got into it.
Speaking of Dan, though, I think you're kind of proving his point, Mike. You were irrevocably influenced by the labels that are reissuing records, and the canon of jazz to you was shrunken by them, and you're a victim.
Whatever. I don't care. I have
that's what Dan says on all of his videos, right? Is that nobody knows this stuff because they don't reissue it.
Well, the thing is, like, I feel like when we come on here, like, how many people show Lester Young records? How many people show Benny Webster? Like, Ben Webster.
Just showed Ben Webster record.
Oh, hold on. Get ready, Chuck T. Get ready, because they suck.
What?
Hold on. Let me show you. Because all those records suck. Thank you.
Go away.
Anyway, I'm going to show her. I'm definitely doing a video. I have a few records coming in that kind of.
I want to join you though, so don't just do it by yourself. I want to do
key points, and I honestly am an evangelist for this. I can't believe it took me this long to find Lester Young records. Like, these are fucking awesome, insanely good sounding bop records.
Hold on, you did buying that Sam Records reissue thing? Did you?
No, that's later. Lester Young. He came home and literally had a heart attack and died. That's like he was.
Thanks for bringing down the show.
This is the last recording of his life. Like, when you listen to him after he leaves, whatever it was, Ellington or basically Norman Granz, it was Ellington and Basie. I'm sure there's a couple other people that snuck in, but like, you look at all those sessions, it's all those guys that couldn't make a living doing big band stuff anymore.
Hey.
He gave them a lifeline. And like, some of the times, like Benny Carter's in his 50s. That's what I wanted to say earlier. We listened to 1958, 59, Art Blakey Monin. Lee Morgan is 20 years old on that.
Yeah.
59. I'm listening to this 54, 55 stuff. Oscar Peterson's the oldest guy. He's like 32. Benny Carter's like 50 on these. Like, these are cats that were in big bands for decades, and they were looking for the stuff, and they are a bridge to that Blue Note sound of the late 50s, like the Horace Silver stuff. Like, there's a clear progression that you can hear, and these guys are so good, and they have that experience from like the big bands that just make them so cool. They're all just the coolest.
Well, no shit.
They're just the fucking coolest, and it's just.
It is. I'm excited that you're getting into this.
I'm concerned that Jazzbo Mike might start wearing Lester Young underoos.
And then Norman Granz did this David Stone Martin artwork on all these, and these are all like stunning. They're just incredible.
Those are great. There is.
Hold on. Have you shown that record 8 times tonight?
This whole thing is just
going to.
I can't remember, like, you know, there are moments where I get excited about collecting. I am so excited to dive into all of this stuff. Like, I have a couple of records along the way that are incredible that I'll show. You know, I'm into like all this stuff right now. It's so great to and honestly, I feel like I love that I have all this base knowledge here, and now I'm getting into like this. It's just great. I just love it.
Well, I just picture about 6 months from now, Mike's in a therapy session going, I'm a recovering Norman Granz.
Well, Mike, you remind me of myself from about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about 7 years ago. This is what I was doing. You know, I was getting into, you know, bridging the gaps, you know, and now I'm trying to get where Nicole is.
This is the logical next step, CJ. That's true.
I mean? Well, Louis kind of.
No, I'll never do that. I'll never do that.
Stream earlier this week, or that
This is correct. This is correct.
Hey, can I ask one question and look at the screen seriously, Mike? When I wake up tomorrow, will there be a Norman Granz Facebook group created.
This first of all, this live stream is coming down.
No, it's not. This is a great live stream. Oh no.
No, if you're not watching it now, it's
Yeah,
over.
it's not coming down. Nothing's coming down, man.
There will be a
Listen.
Discord section for it for
Well,
sure.
I discover new artists every, at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
I find some name of a artist that's like, God, I've never heard this person before. So I start searching it out.
Oh no. This is how it progresses. Mike goes on a tear about something, and then Notes and Tones comes up and corrects him like a stern father.
It's the greatest moments of our entire lives.
This is why I'm acting like this, because the lead, like, Mike hasn't been up in a few weeks, so I'm just wiling out. Mike,
That's true. You are. We need Mike to come over to
I'm just-
correct you and get you under control. Clearly.
I'm just yelling things.
Oh shit, that's funny. No, I'm excited, Mike, because when I first got into jazz, before I met y'all, I bought all this Verve shit because it was cheap and it was available, and I knew a lot of the names from like watching the Ken Burns documentary, because that's all I had, right? I mean, I had, I bought all the Blue Note shit as it was coming out. This is like in 2020, right? I bought all the Blue Note shit as it was coming out. But when I went to the record stores, there were tons of all these Verves and Clefs and all that stuff. So I'm very excited.
Yeah,
To follow on. And like the I'm glad you got the Hot 5 and Hot 7 records, because I want to talk about those.
Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, those are things that I've had on my want list. I knew I needed to get them. They came up, both of them clean for $15. So I was like, this is as good as a deal as I'm going to get. That's a deep groove 6i. It's going to be good. And
I think you should also get the
hey, about this.
Fantastic.
So there is that Blue Note reissue series from the mid 70s where they have the Lester Young Atlantic records, and it's really not that hard to find. It's one of the cheaper of those. I think you should be able to find it for under $10. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
there is no Mike versus Mike. Mike comes up and just tells me, and I say, okay.
No, it's still Mike versus Mike. It's great. Jazz is a professional.
Yeah, whatever.
What I'm going to be really excited for is when you start showing like Benny Goodman big band records. That you're excited
God,
about.
I'm gone. If you start showing Benny Goodman, I'm out
Benny
of here.
Goodman's awesome.
That's party foul.
No way.
I
dude.
want to.
Benny Goodman's awesome.
I honestly, I just feel like honestly, I'm
Hmm.
trying to get to a point where I feel like I don't need to like go after like a certain label or certain like I have representation, and like I can every once in a while add something, and I have like, that's why I want the Louis stuff. I want all these guys in my collection, and I want it from now to current, and I feel like I'd rather fill in like the back catalog, get all of that, and then start kind of hammering out like the 80s, 90s, aughts, and now. And then anyway, so I prefer to get like one record per week. That would be ideal if I could do that. But it's just like,
What about 10 records per week? Does that seem problematic?
I would, I feel like there's just so much to fill in right now. That's the
Well,
problem.
what's going to be cool. Well, here's what I would recommend you do too. For all these artists, go to your record stores, buy cheap copies of a lot of these records, see which ones you like, sell the ones you don't. Like it'll be fun and it'll be cheap, and you can listen to a lot of shit.
That's what I'm doing with classical.
Yeah, or you could do this. You could because I was going to recommend the big Spiderbeck Columbias. There was like 3 of them, right? Yeah, exactly. CDs.
I don't have any Bics.
The Bics, those 3 are great. They're from the same ish time period as the Louis ones. But you could probably get a CD comp of that for $5 now that you have a CD player. So maybe that could be an interesting route to go too for some of that stuff.
Yeah. So just FYI, for anybody who gives a shit, I was at Goodwill, and I found a compact Blu-ray player, which is what I've heard is completely competent to play CDs. So it fits perfectly on my system. So I set it up. I got some cables, got a remote. So I'm all in probably, I don't know, $30. And I could play all the stuff. Rob, you sent me a ton of Art Pepper. Seriously, like 20 CDs of Art Pepper.
Well, I'll tell you, I got lucky and I found one of those Oppo players. But the CD player I was using was a Sony Blu-ray 3D, which says it plays everything. It doesn't play.
Yeah.
It doesn't play the
SACD.
SACDs, but the Oppo does. The Oppo.
Yeah, but is there any real reason to buy SACDs if you're in? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I have a couple of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them are hybrids now.
Sorry. I played this earlier. This is the Summit. This is a Chicago concert of the Rat Pack. So Sammy, Dino, and there's off-color jokes on this. There's not many. There's like one here and there.
What tell one for us?
Yeah.
No, just listen to it. I honestly feel like it's fine. Like they're obviously it's fine. I think, but
is it like the Aristocrats? Are they doing that joke on there?
No, it just. I guess the reason why I say that is because I feel like it doesn't even matter anymore because this is so old, and it's just like this is just a document of the time, and it's anyway. The music is fantastic. Their interaction and banter is good, and this is a Steve Hoffman gold CD.
Oh, okay.
It's a DCC. So anyway, it sounds good. I mean, it doesn't sound as good as a record, but it sounds good.
Well, is that because your CD player sucks?
What?
Is that because your CD player is bad, or because I'm not saying you have a bad CD player. I'm just saying you have like a really nice turntable and a really nice cartridge and all that now. Like, do you think that affects that?
Wait. What CD player do you have, Nicole? What kind do you use?
I got a transport. It's called Jay's Audio. It's a Chinese made, but it's a high-end Chinese a CD player. Or not a player, but a transport.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a Border Patrol DAC.
No.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It's about, I don't know what, between the two of them, probably about almost $5,000 combination.
Yeah.
I'm in for like $50. So I need to find me a CD player too, because I kind of want one.
I still have a Sony boombox from 1991.
Dude, I had one of those and somebody stole it. Did it have the bass boost on it? That was like
Yes,
the
it
best
does.
feature. It was fucking awesome.
Now, do you get a piece of cardboard and put it on the ground when you use it?
Yes.
Throw it around?
Yes.
I've got a giant 80s JVC boombox that's really badass, but I need to get it worked on.
Okay, I'm going to reveal a little bit about myself. So I have my bar mitzvah. My dad said you could buy one thing with the money you got. The rest is going in your bank account or like savings for college.
Yeah.
So I got a boombox. Panasonic boombox. I joined Columbia Record and Tape Club.
Oh, yeah.
Started ordering cassettes. And it was awesome. And
Did you ever get in trouble with your parents when the letters came from Columbia asking you to pay for shit?
No, they didn't give a shit about that. And then also the DC 101, which is the big radio station that Howard Stern was at, every Sunday night they would play 6 albums. And I'd just get a blank cassette and record them.
So that tape club, my younger brother, is 5 years younger than me. So he was probably he might have only been 11 years old or 10 years old at the time. We had these people that lived up on the hill that were snowbirds. So for half the year, they'd be in Florida. So he basically did as many entries to the club as he could and had them all sent to them and would take all their shit from the mailbox.
Oh my God.
So my brother had like 5,000 freaking tapes, and no one didn't. And so they kept calling because he actually used our home phone number, and they kept calling my mom, and my mom would get on and goes, "He's 10, fuck off," and hang up. And that was all that ever happened.
Dave, your brother is my hero.
Yeah, mine too.
He had Green Day tapes when he was a kid.
Yeah,
like he got everything.
That's awesome.
It was funnier than shit. My mom cussing him out on the phone was the best part.
Yeah, that is greatness. Sounds like something my mom would have done for sure.
What does your brother do today?
He's in the clink. He's in the joint, man.
Oh no, he works at a private ski resort.
Okay.
There you go. He's living. He's continuing the lap of life.
He's a professional snowboarder.
Where at?
He was in Oregon in Ashland, and then he was in Leadville in Colorado. Now he's in upstate New York. It's a small private.
Yeah. Actually, this is a good point, Delphina. You know why? And this has always been the case, because they're always updating the firmware like daily for all those consoles. So it's always the latest.
Not for a PS1. You can't update the firmware on a PS1 though.
Well, I thought on the more recent ones.
Yeah.
The PlayStation. They always say get a PlayStation because they're always updating the firmware. But they don't have. They're moving away from the CD interface, right?
She said a PlayStation 1 specifically, like an old school PlayStation.
Are there groups that are continuing to update the firmware?
Yeah, I think 4 and 5, or PlayStation 4 and 5.
Yeah, my Oppo, they don't update them anymore.
Yeah, right. Well, the company doesn't. Well, it does exist.
They make cell phones now or something.
Cell phones, yeah.
Well, I got to roll, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
See you, man.
Yeah, I might take off too. I can't.
Well, Mike just did the Irish goodbye and just left.
Yeah. Might as well.
You have to discipline him because he keeps blaming his dogs for it.
We need Mike to get up here and tell him tell him about how he's not supposed to talk about Dixieland and teach him about Norman Granz.
Oh, wound out.
Dude, that dude had a major just freak out about it.
Who did?
Mike.
No, he was fine. It was fun. He freaked out way worse about the Apple list yesterday on the.
Oh, that was
on the Messenger.
I kept on seeing all these things pop up my phone. I was not, it's just like, what in the hell's going on?
Yeah. I'm surprised you've stuck with us through all our stupidity this long in that thread, Nicole.
Yeah, I just kind of.
It's
all right, cool. Well, I think we're winding down then. I mean,
yeah.
You got anything going on this weekend that's fun, Rob?
Well, I was gonna chill because it's a little light work wise, and then I'm going up to Seattle. But Jim and I I haven't been around the South Bay record stores in a while, so I might. I have records for Delphina. She lives down there. I'll probably give her a record. Cool. And then Sunday, I'm surprised Lance from Permanent Records can come up.
Yeah,
go to their Instagram. He flipped through a box of kick-ass shit. I can't imagine what the prices are going to be on those records. Yeah. So I might go over there on Sunday just to see. But
sweet. All right. Well, y'all have a good long weekend if you're an American. If you're not,
I have a box I just made for Felipe. I got to drop it in the mail tomorrow.
I'm going to send off your 2 records tomorrow too, Rob.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, thank you for letting them. How did you like the Horace Tapscott?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, it's this one. Let me show real quick before we go.
Nicole, did you win open ones or sealed ones?
One of them was open. The other 6 were closed.
So I got all 7.
Yeah.
And only one of them was warped, and I sent it to Chris. And how well did you do with it, Chris?
Oh, it's perfect now. I actually put it through 3 times though. These old ones when they're warped like that. Yeah. I mean, it was after the first time it was fine, but after 2 more, it's basically just dead flat now. So.
Yeah, my daughter loved all the different colors of those covers.
Yeah,
I'm right now. If you guys want to get into something, go stream those. They're excellent, and they're not too crazy because he's improvising all of them.
Right. It's just him, so
But the story here, before we go, here's the story.
Okay.
About less than 10 years ago, some dude, the guy who owned Nimbus, had a warehouse full of dead stock in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And a guy went down there and just bought all of it and flooded the market. He dropped the price. Most of them are those sessions, but there were the other ones. And like the one that's the most expensive is the one where he's conducting on it dropped the price of that from like $200 to like $40.
Oh wow!
and like up until I don't know how long ago you could find those. I found a dead stock one at Amoeba. I didn't buy it because it was cheaper on the internet.
Yeah.
That's not part of those sessions, but those records are excellent.
Well, I wanted to buy it as one, all of them at one time. I wasn't going to try to, pick and choose. And luckily, when I saw this on Sunday, I saw this past Sunday on Carolina Soul, which was the first time I looked at that website. And I saw it and I go, oh my God. So I put a high bid on it using Auction Stealer. And they started off at $950 each. And there was only one that went for, for $29. And the rest of them came under just around 20.
Well, that's good because I paid under 30 for each. Some varied in price.
Mhm.
Actually, that record store from Bakersfield that has one in LA going underground, they seem to have a bunch of them.
Oh, really?
And one guy on Discogs had the 3 I needed. I bought them just from him.
Oh shit! I think my internet's flaking out a little bit. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up. Y'all have a good weekend, everybody.
You too.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Have a lovely
Good night.
weekend, everyone. Bye.